Welcome to another wonderful week of Dungeons and Dungeons.
Finally.
It's been a long break, but we're returning to the high-octane story that we were in the middle of. Previously, on D&D, the Phelan crew teleported to the Forgotten Rings of Nature's Hold, the great city in the north. Stumbling upon the last rites of the northern forces, the crew jumped into action to aid against the Cobalt Alliance. Grateful, Brine, the King of the North, fought side by side with our heroes to try and regroup. Defeating the unit of soldiers lucky enough to make their way into the deepest parts of Nature's Hold, the group enters a dismantled throne room. Without the front wall standing, the crew is able to see thousands of Cobalt soldiers battling a shrinking northern army. Informing her sworn to use the secret exit, a Valkyrie arrives looking to deal the killing blow to Brine and the North. The group jumps into action to keep the Valkyrie at bay. Through great courage and an excellent cloud kill, the team is able to escort the noble children through the secret passage. Entering the halls of the sea, they find fish tanks shattered as some Cobalt soldiers manage to find their way in thanks to stray trebuchet rocks. With the battle continuing, the team begins to travel across the water, only to find a dwarven war general inspecting the exit to the area. He begins bashing the noble children into the ground and into the sea, all while the group fights off the remaining Cobalt wolves in the chamber. The Valkyrie continues to push the group back, unfazed by the majority of their attacks. Some outwardly force protects her from countless magic attempts. Mosnell and Brine look in horror to find children being murdered as Aerie falls from the wall onto the water. Sari Clovis screams, "Somebody please help!" as we close the game last time. That's the recap.
But yeah, that's right. There's just a dude bopping kids off the bridge.
Who does that?
Yep.
Evil people.
Let's kill him.
The worst.
It's a shame I don't like kids.
All right.
Apparently, neither does he.
Who knows?
Hey, no.
At this point,
this is all you're doing.
We together.
This is all
you're below.
consequences to your
I
choices.
don't know who I am anymore.
Oh, yes.
All
Ryan,
consequences to your choices.
Ryan is
All right.
I'm afraid that my last character I play is going to seep into this one, and I'm going to be really evil.
Yeah, don't do that.
I don't know.
How about that? How's that going?
It's like the opposite of what
Yeah, that
I
wouldn't be helpful. During the sequence, Brine now turning and seeing all these children being smashed and hearing Sari Clovis turns and yells towards all of you that, "Help, you must do something!" As she goes to take a step of the wind to go and try and interfere with what's going on with this war general, the Valkyrie grabs her and is keeping her engaged so she can't move. And the Valkyrie and her start exchanging some blows, kind of forcing them through, all of you guys, deeper into this area as we get in. This sort of pushes you guys back down the stairs and leading you out of the main chamber as everything starts shrinking and almost in this slow motion time as children are being thwacked by this dwarven holding two different war hammers back and forth. Sari is up on the chopping block, engaged and locked in with this Valkyrie. The Valkyrie in that still tinny voice is going right into Brine's face. "Die with glory, you false king. To neither with glory, I would... To hell with glory. Oh, to nether. See, I replaced things. I actually give a shit about characters and what their dialogue is, but Reeves replacing it. My bad. To nether with glory, I would trade my kingdom for the lives of the innocent you rob. So, Brine, at this point, you see her close her eyes and starts glowing. And she starts making a prayer. And Mosnell, you can see the spirit of the forest start running around the tomb as he's trying to concentrate on this prayer right now. Leaning in harder with this crossing of one of the Valkyrie's wings right now with the blade of the crescent moon. The Valkyrie leans in with this excitement in her voice. It seems like this is this adrenaline rush, almost like an adrenaline junkie on a roller coaster. No god can stop the will of war. The fates end one of our journeys now. All the walls, as the ethereal wolf is hopping around this area, turn to pillars of flame. And you can't see the ethereal wolf anymore. Whatever connection Brine had to the spirit of the forest is cut by some other outwardly force.
Some more with nonsense.
Even you, Maz, now feel your connection with the ethereal wolf cut inside here. You're all trapped as these flames start burning brighter and brighter. The whole place illuminated as you see the children either on top of the rocks that you saved, floating on the water. Some of you that all are still have some consciousness left in you or are slowly drowning to the bottom of this tank. A mist starts filling onto the bottom. This darkness starts emanating from a corner inside this area as the fires are going up, as the dwarf is bringing up his hammer to crash down on Siri as Gray is trying to step forward to stop that. Ari rises from where he stands. As he rises, his eyes glowing purple, he leans out, snaps his fingers. I need everybody but Maznal and Ulazal to leave the table, please. And Ari, you're gone too. You don't know what's happening. Yeah.
Alright, I'll bring my watermelon with me then.
What? That's a lot of water.
No!
That was Zach's plan.
He's texting Rejo, just get him out of here. I don't care how you do it. Just get him out of here. I need that watermelon. Just kill him.
Sorry, guys.
I'll miss you. Ah! The robbery. Bye, Luke.
Oh, geez, just killed his video too and everything, man. Luke really took it seriously.
He's not there. He's gone.
He's done.
He's out.
Ari, you're gone too. Mute. You can't hear this.
Oh, wait, I can't. Oh,
100%.
That wasn't a joke.
100%. You're done, so boy.
hang on.
Sucks to suck. Let me know when
He's
you're
not
not
in
here.
control right now.
Why can't?
Okay, so we're the only remaining ones from the original crew.
Ari, can you hear me? Hunter? Fuck you in your face. Okay, he can't hear me. So,
Yeah, he's deaf and it says it.
cool. As Ari is now risen, you can kind of move his miniature up now. The Valkyrie, as the mist is filling in, and the Valkyrie starts to feel, she looks over towards Ari as he's going to snap his fingers, announces, "No god can withstand the might!" And when that snap happens, everyone collapses. The fires instantly extinguish, except for Ulazal, Brine, and Maznal, all just left standing. As the finger is out, it points to you, Ulazal.
Oh.
And you hear this.
Oh boy.
And you feel that pulsing in you, and Maznal, you and Brian look on as you see cast inside this whole place that just went pitch black. You just see this yellow pulsing, getting brighter. You look into your pocket and you see that gemstone is pulsing as Ari is pointing towards you right now, as this dark mist is seeping out closer and closer to all of you. It's hitting your feet and now covering the entirety of the bottom. What do you do?
I don't like how this feels.
What's going on with the stone?
The stone is glowing, and so is Ari. Stone is super evil.
What does it mean?
I was gonna try and banish the stone, but I have to target a creature with it. I dropped the stone.
You drop the stone in the water?
Yep.
Okay. Ulazal drops it down, and as Ari goes to take a step forward towards it, Ari starts to regain his senses. So we can get Ari back. Hunter! Message him. Tell him to come back. See, this is perfect, because he doesn't know what's going on. So he doesn't even have to act.
Are you doing it, Zach? Or do you want me to?
I'm doing it. I'm doing the thing. It's gonna take just a hot second, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Oh, good. Server filters. I'm so happy.
I can just message him right here. Hunter. Oops. Join back.
Hunter,
Hello.
last thing you remember was falling from the top
Yes.
of the wall. Now, you awake, taking steps forward on top of the water towards Ulazal, who has just dropped the gemstone into the water, and you can see it pulsating down to the bottom of this tank.
The sun gem?
Yep, the sun gem.
Okay.
You see only Brian and Mosnell, Ulazal all standing right now. Everybody else is collapsed and unconscious.
And I'm walking on the water?
Yeah, well, you still have that because of the someone cast that earlier, the walk on water.
It was,
No, I never got that.
Oh,
I was too far away.
I'll run over and get him then.
then you are slowly sinking into the water as you come back to consciousness. You're like, as you're walking, you're slowly going down as you're like, ah! That is what's happening.
I'm gonna make my way towards the bridge.
Okay, you can go ahead and move him onto the bridge right now.
I would have moved over to try and help.
Okay. What's is going on right now?
Is the Valkyrie down?
Don't look at
Yes.
me.
Jesus.
Everyone just
I-
unconscious right now.
Everyone.
Yeah, except you four.
First things first, the general's on the ground, right?
Which
The war general.
The dwarf general.
yes,
that
the
was
dwarf
gonna
general.
attack.
Yes.
I'm gonna try and push him in the water.
Give me a strength check.
I'm not even thinking about what's
I will
going on. I'm
assist
just
him.
like, oh shit.
Okay, go ahead and
this
roll a
guy's
strength
still
check
here.
as well. I'll take your two numbers into account.
18.
I rolled a fresh 11.
All right, the two of you get up and oh, he's heavy. He's got lots of plate mail armor on. And down he goes,
Just sinking into the water.
sinking down into the water very fast.
Okay, so now I'm gonna look around and like, okay, what just happened?
You're the one that did it.
Yeah. I
What?
I don't know how you. I don't know if now's the time to talk about this. We should.
We
try
should
and
move everyone as fast as possible. And she starts trying to pick up children and move them into the next
I put
area.
everybody on my back.
All
Just
right.
because I'm right there, I'll pick up Sari.
All right, you guys all start moving Sari Clovis, and as you get a couple of the kids through to the next area, pushing and pushing them, you start seeing some of the people come into life. The Valkyrie first, you can start seeing the wings starting to move about a little bit in her armor, and people starting to come too. Give me strength checks or dexterity checks for how many kids you're getting out of here as fast as possible.
can I try and banish the Valkyrie while she's still unconscious to give her disadvantage on the saving throw?
You can attempt to.
Okay, I'm going to do that then.
Oh yeah, Brian has no problem.
I'm gonna use my Timora's Blessing to reroll.
Okay.
Okay,
So I
that's
cast
better.
banishment on the Valkyrie.
All right.
She has to make a charisma saving throw.
So just
Let
a
me
standard
see.
dexterity
It's,
check.
She might have advantage on it, so it might be a normal roll. It's a saving throw?
Yeah, charisma.
Yep, so it's just a normal roll then. Okay. As you all are... As they're coming to and as you're moving kids, you try and banish the Valkyrie. Yes, what up?
Oh, is it just a standard dexterity check?
Yeah,
for me?
just dexterity.
Okay, 15.
15. You're good. All right, good. What'd you get,
I used-
Mosnell?
I used my Timora's
17.
Blessing.
17. Okay. Yeah, you guys with those numbers, you're good, man. Yeah. You're getting all the kids there, including a couple unconscious dead ones that might want to try and revive or not.
Priorities!
I gotta find her saving throw.
You're the healer.
So if she's proficient in it, it would be her charisma modifier plus the proficiency bonus. But if she's not, it's just the
What's your spell save DC?
17.
She doesn't make it. Yes!
Oh shit!
Yeah, she didn't make it.
Yes!
I rolled
Oh,
fucking 2.
shit.
Let's go, dude.
All right. As she starts to wake up from Ulazal's hands, the banishment spell comes, and you can see the scales of tear coming down, and the unbalance starts to come behind her, and you see her start looking and goes to wherever banished people go. You can start getting everybody else in here.
Question.
Go get them from upstairs. Okay. And get Luke back here as they're on the water right now, unconscious and prone. You guys are here. That is there. For the sake of time, all these kids are just gonna get tossed. I'm gonna use just one uniform symbol, so I don't have to track the kids anymore.
Sure.
Goodbye. 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 Alright, one of those going to water, really? Alright. They're there. Aries there. Ulazal's there. They're slowly waking up. Slowly waking up. Okay, okay. Over here. You're over there still. Okay. Moved over.
I got what I went for.
Oh, I got the watermelon. Jesus.
No, they know. They're just chatting with your family.
Okay.
Aries gonna turn towards Ulazal.
Yep.
Ulazal, don't you need the sunstone? You dropped it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bro,
I don't know
I'm
anything
gonna-
about
shouldn't
this
leave it there.
I'm gonna just dive into the water to go after it.
Okay.
I don't know if you should do that.
He's doing it. Okay. Give me a investigation check with disadvantage because there's no light. Oh wait, do you have dark vision? You
I do have dark
You're
vision.
fine.
So I
Give me a
have
straight
dim
roll.
light.
Even though you're going on, it's dim light and you're going underwater. But it's also glowing, so it's gonna be pretty obvious to try and find.
16.
Okay, 16. Easily,
16
you're able to
investigate.
find it as you're going deeper and deeper down.
I think you're going still unconscious.
You, as you're down there and you're about to grab the
When did we go
stone,
unconscious?
you find the dwarven general
Except they all went
drowned
unconscious.
next to you. You can
So
tell
they
he's
just-
already
What about me?
hasn't had
You're
enough
unconscious.
air and he's
Okay.
no longer moving.
We're unconscious?
I'm gonna pick up
On
the
top of the
stone
water.
and make my way
I think I
back
can water
over.
walk.
What's that?
Oh wait.
Is it concentration?
No, I just cast it.
Yeah, that's what I
And
thought.
It works for like, what, 8 hours?
Yeah, that's what I thought. So you guys are all just laying on top of the water right now.
Well, anyone that I gave it to.
Oh,
It's
you
not
just
everybody. Not
Oh, yeah,
everybody
Yeah,
was
Yeah.
I
we
think you
are.
gave it to me.
I know I did not have it, so
Yep.
we already.
we did establish that. So as you guys start coming to, after the last thing you remember is a snap of Aries' fingers and just dropping, and then just
We got
blackness.
Thanos.
And now you're coming back up, and you're noticing the children aren't there anymore. And you are noticing there is no Valkyrie or Dwarven General in there anymore.
And Aerie is gone as well.
Yes. What? You can't see Aerie. So what are you
Their
doing?
body is just piled on my back.
I'm watching Ari very closely.
He's not there? Or he's there?
My head
You see
first
me
started
dip
the water.
down into the water.
Water goes over, you see Aries' head bobbing
You see,
out there.
I climb back onto the center pathway, holding the sunstone.
Mm-hmm.
I doggy paddle to the thing in the middle.
I'm gonna stand up slowly.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Is there any saving throws against being banished, by the way? Like,
Nope. If it
If it
succeeds,
succeeds,
you
she's
just
gone.
you're just
For
gone
how long?
for,
Okay,
like, a minute.
so
a minute? How
pretty
long?
it
Sure.
depends. If she gets sent to whatever plane she's originally from,
Okay.
and if that plane is her home plane,
Mhm.
if the minute passes and my concentration doesn't break, she's there permanently.
Okay.
But if this is her original plane, she would come back after that minute. So we're leaving, like now.
Yes. Yeah.
Good to know.
What happened?
We're leaving. Let's go.
Everybody move.
Let's get going.
Just give me
No kids.
He's
maybe?
pulling up a timer. Let's go.
Just give me a moment here just to put this away. Okay, anyway.
I'm slapping people in faces and throwing them on the bridge.
Hurry, this way! As she's picking up some of the swarm that are still alive, and you guys enter into the next area.
Block this off if we can.
As you enter in here, it's a forest. And you see this beautiful forest area that seems to have all these autumn leaves falling, leaf after leaf after leaf. It is basically a maze of trees.
Lovino's thrilled.
Everyone's like, it's gorgeous! With that, as I get in, Brian says, I know the way, follow me.
Alright.
You lucky fucks. As you guys start going through, give me dexterity checks to make sure you don't trip over anything as you're rushing towards the secret exit of the autumn forest. The ever autumn
Say
forest.
Good thing I have advantage.
Yep.
16.
16, 16.
15.
15.
Wait, do I have good
Check
advantage?
your saving throw.
Saving.
Oh,
Okay, I
saving.
do have
Saving.
advantage.
Oh, 19 then.
Ah! That's mostly your
26.
discretion. I know, that's how this works.
Okay.
I like how Zach is always so mad about, like, stop talking. It's like, that's part of it. I got stuff to do.
18 for me.
As you guys are racing through, you start hearing from way back in the other area as you guys are going through the forest. Ralia, what did you get? As you
15.
15. As you were like the last one in there, being like, "What is going on?" You all are going through the forest, making sure all the children are being ushered in front of you because of
There
your.
weren't children.
There
I'm so
are.
confused.
They were put in front of you. They were taken out of the
Okay,
whole
I was
place.
like,
So now
what?
you see them. I forgot to describe that to you
thank you.
because everyone's
By
at
the
different
time
places
you
of
woke
knowledge.
up, they were moved out, but when you left, there would have been a whole pile of people waking up as well.
Okay.
So, Tamazing's there as well, doing his thing as he's got a whole bunch of them, as he's catching back up and picking up with them with his
So
long
glad we have a
strides.
babysitter.
Tim.
You go through what easily you would have been lost in the quickness of Brian as she, with every stride, it looks as graceful as the last. As some of you are like, oh God, every time. As soon as you take a turn, it's like, oh, that's a tree. Where did that come from? She effortlessly is gliding through this area, making sure to glance back and not lose anybody and go too fast as to.
Are we still like inside?
Yes,
Okay.
inside the castle.
Architecture.
Dude, this place is amazing. If you visited it earlier than when it was under siege, it would have been super dope. But now everything's on fire and dying. As it's going through, you hear in the distance, but seem a bit closer. You can't hide from me, King of the North. I will burn this god-darn forest down. She definitely wouldn't say darn, but that's what I'm at right now. Didn't feel the curse. So, you start hearing cracklings of fire
Classic.
as you get to deep within the Everautumn forest, and Brian has this. It just looks like normal ground. She just pulls it open. Very obviously a secret entrance, and she goes, get down right now, everybody in. You all start going down with your dex checks. The kids are just basically going to be shoveled in, like, you gotta get all these in the bag. Tamazing went first, so Tamazing's like,
I was
as they're
gonna
falling
suggest
down.
that.
Maznell's sitting there with Brian right at the ready, trying to see if the Valkyrie's going to catch on. There's a ceiling to this room, though, so she can't just fly up and look down to try and find us. It's all completely thickened, and as she's like going up, you can hear like as the Valkyrie's trying to come down and gain an advantage here, but she is just not able to find you guys.
Probably didn't help herself with the smoke there.
Nothing going on in the Valkyries world right now. Where are you, cowards? Fight me as war demands! Brian looks over to Maz now. What's your name again?
Masno.
Wonderful to meet you, Masnell. I'm glad to have you here. It's a pretty crazy day we're having, aren't we? As they're just people and people going as they're waiting. You see, like, Ralia behind is one of the last to get in, just like dusting herself off, making everything nice and proper as she starts going down the railings and banisters.
It's been pretty crazy.
That's all right. I think it's your
Good
turn now.
exercise, though.
Wonderful exercise, of course. Go on down now. The Sworn have now gone down. Maznell is the next one to go down. And as she gives one last glance, you can almost see like a clipping of the wing way still in the distance and puts it down. That puts...
She came in with us?
No. Brian did, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The Valkyrie.
You all go into this area, and the Sworn start lighting all these different torches inside that area. So you're all in there now. So you can move your characters
And where?
right into here. Sweet. Into this quiet area.
I'm just gonna move the player characters just for this.
Yeah, just and Brian. So as you all get into this area, you smell a very familiar sense of a little bit of sewage, not revolting sewage. It seems very E-friendly, very clean, renewable cycles down here. It's like waterways and cave systems are down here. And Brian is looking towards her sworn, and then looks to all of you. This is a area that's not used very often or at all. It's been many, many years, but it's an escape of sorts to what one of the older kings of the north used. He was a paranoid one, and this was one of his exits to another hideout that we use for a variety of storage purposes, to be frank. There are keys inside here that constantly rotate. If you wouldn't mind helping us find those keys, we would be through before hopefully the Valkyrie finds us, and then she will not be able to find us once we find the next area, and then we can catch up and figure out why the spirit of the forest sent you to me at this time, which I am very grateful for once again. Have we been introduced formally yet?
Not properly.
Don't think so.
All right.
I have.
Yes, just now. Just once again, wonderful to meet you. Well, let's save those introductions for after we find the keys. But I am most grateful.
Started looking.
Okay, so you guys can start going around this area. Oh no, limitations.
Yeah, that's what
Ari has been all business since we teleported here.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, everything we've visited the past 2 weeks has been on fire.
Shit.
Well,
Can't wait for the Telesio turn.
well, I don't know. He knew Orlith somehow, so maybe he's gonna have some interesting
Zach's
character.
paranoia.
I love it, dude. I just love adding to it. It's great.
I'm gonna kill her. I'm gonna kill her for real. I'm gonna go to her plane and kill her soul.
That's what I want.
Turns out Telius is Orlith.
Hey, Joseph.
It is Orlith.
What a twist!
Dream.
Sephiroth music hits.
Nah, dude, I got watermelon.
This is what I was
Had
waiting for.
watermelon.
Emily's got watermelon. I'm good.
Ah.
Thank you.
This is too much of a burden to bear.
Storage.
Gotta give it back to Justin.
It's a heavy burden.
Yeah.
One that only few can carry.
He's the only one that can handle it.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it's the cord. It's pulling.
Some loads are,
Just too heavy. Too much to bear.
different people can bear different loads. Different people have different loads. That's how I like to look at life.
Hey.
That's just Justin.
I just
Sup?
did.
Hi, Kevin.
We'll edit this part out.
Alright.
That's pretty good. That's good.
Oh, he's an asshole.
Yeah, he is.
No, you're not.
Yeah, he is.
Making my life so difficult.
What an asshole.
Remember how I put everything on boxes, Reed, so you could move them with ease?
What an asshole.
So I think I got all the player characters, but I'm not
You
sure.
missed Ralia, I put her in.
Oh, okay.
She's important. And you missed
Yeah,
Brian.
she's really cool. What? Oh, that's Brian? Okay. I thought Brian was another one.
Brian's the bronze one. The very expensive one.
Hey, if I was bronze, he's not even with us anymore.
Nope, he's dead.
Or is he?
Ah!
Oh shit, you broke the secret tunnel passage.
Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel.
Oh yeah, that goes on the side there. Please just go out.
Secret tunnel.
Tunnel.
I wish you guys could see what was happening right now.
Tunnel.
No, they can't see what's happening. Strip it.
I don't think we want to buy anything older than like a 2012.
I agree. However, my wallet disagrees.
Well, we can find other used cars for more reasonable prices.
You're
I
looking
know.
for a car?
No, we're preparing for worse.
Oh.
Our cars are both
not
approaching
good?
200,000. They're okay, but you know.
We're also
How
they're
does that
both
look for you
2005s, so
Better?
they're almost 15 years old.
Do you guys have payments on those or no?
Does that look
Nice.
better for you guys?
Yeah, just from our parents.
That's annoying.
Answer your DM.
That looks good.
Yeah.
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 I don't know what it's supposed to look like. So yes, probably.
It just passageways.
We're all over
Okay,
here.
then yes.
Get a view of each passageway.
Can you see walls and rocks and
So
stone?
that's all that matters. They're gonna know.
Yes.
Then you're looking good.
Eventually, I might
Perfect.
get a over-the-top cam, but we only do so much.
We should
for
get a
so long.
drone camera.
We're not putting a drone in here.
Why not?
I own a drone. They are very loud. Yeah.
He didn't say drone. He said Jerome.
Jerome comes out on the ceiling. No! God, it was taking forever!
He's got a GoPro strapped to his chest. He's just hanging there.
Just like, all right, I'm playing Jaqualin. He's not here, Jerome. I'm playing Jaqualin. All right, he dimension doors in. All right. He's here. Jaqualin, what's going on? No idea. I'm here now.
Hey, you remember that time you were a
As
dick
long
to
as
us?
he's still wearing his hat.
Does he still have his giant ship that's probably an illusion?
Anyway, so here we are. So, Ari, what are you doing? You said you're investigating, so you can go ahead.
Yeah, like when she said we have to find the keys, I immediately started.
All right, so you go underneath. Yeah. Go make an investigation check. Like, what'd you roll?
That would be a 7.
7. Looking around this area, it actually seems pretty locked sealed, despite what you guys can see on the map. All this seems pretty enclosed, and it just seems like a square room that leads to nowhere right now. As you go all the way around trying to see what's going on, despite the lights that have been lit up right now, Ari. So you do feel that vibration inside your pocket from the sun gem, and it just slowly turns down. It had that loud hum, and it was like even after you picked up, it was still going. But it's now gone back to a normal state.
I would like to just start tapping on the walls, like see if I hear any hollow spots.
Sure, give me a perception check.
Is anyone hurt?
Not too bad.
There's children that are hurt.
There are 3
16.
children laying on the ground motionless as Sari Clovis is crying over their unmoving bodies.
I will spare the dying, all of them.
Help
It
them.
takes.
What does Spare the Dying do?
It's a cantrip. It stabilizes them.
Stabilize.
They are not alive.
Okay.
Because they were clubbed double their health easily by the dwarf,
shit.
because these are fragile little
I
children.
don't have
Though you-
resources to save them all.
If you could revivify,
I could.
you could revivify them with whatever resources you might want to pull
I
together.
don't- How many
Don't
children are
have any
dead?
diamond
You have at
rings.
least 3. Doesn't need to be just diamonds.
Oh, that's right. I'm just looking at the spell.
Yep. You can bargain with gods.
Whoa.
These are all options.
That's true. I mean, I
Wow.
could roll for divine intervention. That is a thing that I can do now.
Many of you can roll for divine intervention. All of you have at least one god looking over you.
Fuck it. 1.
You begin to pray as Ralia accidentally knocks into you as she's tapping onto the walls, and you fall in like a little water puddle that was like dripping from the stalagmites, and you just get it right in your face.
This is the detail.
And as you're just nothing, no connection.
Not
Yeah,
worth it.
I'm gonna roll for divine intervention to try and save all these kids. I don't think it'll
All
work.
these kids?
Yeah,
Oh.
divine intervention. As an action, you can request your deity's aid and roll percentile die. If the number rolled is equal or less than your cleric level, your deity intervenes. If it's successful, I can't use it for a week. Otherwise, I can use it again for a long rest.
Actual
Actual
divine.
Oh, well, here we
Yeah,
go.
he's got the actual thing.
That's a 68. So nope.
You sit
Bummer.
down over the children's faces as your hands cover each of their eyes, and you pray to Tyr, and as you try and ask for divine intervention from him, your cry doesn't leave the chamber, it doesn't reach far enough. After banishing the Valkyrie, his power seems to be taking time to reconnect with you, and this is too much to ask of your god right now.
Does anyone have a healer's kit?
Nope.
I don't either. I don't even know what that is.
All
just figured I'd
it
check.
does is help with stabilizing. It doesn't actually do healing.
I know.
I mean,
I
I
have a
can't
thing
heal.
where I could
I
roll
don't think
for
healing is
it, but
going
I
to do
think I
anything.
need the
They're
kit.
straight up dead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
no, they're dead. They're
Yeah,
dead.
they're-
Yeah.
Hey,
What'd your
man,
perception
it was
check
worth
get?
the
It
frickin'
was
shot,
16.
okay?
16. As you walk around, eventually you start hearing a hollow place, and you found at least one area that seems hollow, while the rest of the chamber does not, besides the place you just came from. Actually, that's above you, so.
Hey, you know what I will
I
do?
will point that out to somebody who is larger than me. Probably either it's amazing or Mosnall.
All right. It's amazing right now is crying over the children's bodies, and Mosnell just sort of rubbing the back of his head like, "Ooh, jeez, this is my fault."
Go to Mosnall, like, I believe that this chamber is hollow behind this wall. Do you think you could break into it?
Do we want to break into it? Won't that leave a path towards us if they get to this chamber?
Do you think there is another way in?
I look towards Brine. She did mention keys.
And she looks toward. She's very
I'm
distracted.
holding my axe up,
Visibly,
looking for a direction.
visibly shook and upset to see innocent lives taken. She is very distracted right now. So as you look onto her, she's not looking back at any of you. She's just focusing on the other situation. Eyes darting around, trying to do some calculation to try and figure out some way to save these children. But nothing's
Then
going
on that wall, I'll look for a keyhole or something.
Brian, do you have any idea what these keys could be in terms of opening the path?
Oh, the keys are further in. This is only the first chamber. There was always a brute force way of getting through this area, as the last king was focused on strength. That was warm blood, strength, and some other stuff.
Mosnell, you're up.
All right, let's do it.
All right, give me an attack roll against the hollow part of the wall.
As this is going on,
Yep.
I'll just kind of do a little motion like that.
Mhm.
All right,
Cast fire
that
traps.
is
Okay,
a
Let's see if I can get shit
18
on.
18. That hits, so roll damage.
damage.
You just barely managed to hit the wall. No.
Oh shit.
No, I'm kidding.
And 10 damage.
10 damage. Easily, you break through a little bit, and you see all these stalagmites falling, and you get the smell of another area and sitting water pools on the other side.
I'm just gonna keep hitting it till
All
it's
right.
done.
Go ahead, keep hitting it. Keep rolling damage.
Oof, that's 14.
That hits. It's a wall.
Oh, it doesn't. Nice. 16 damage.
There you go. As you start cleaving through, you are able to find more and more of these stalagmites crunkling and crumbling between the might of your axe, and you push through into another area that is pitch black. As you clear it, some of the sworn are looking in and trying to take the torches off and put it in. You can see there's more areas and more waterways, and they toss one of the torches through, and as it lands on more stone, the fire doesn't go out. So they give you a shrug and gesture for you to go first if you want.
Let's do this.
I'm gonna go in and just keep an eye out for any dangers, traps, anything like that.
Okay.
I'm also gonna put my hand on one of Mosnell's furs and cast light as he walks in.
Cool. All right.
Neat.
As Mazel enters the chamber, he enters like the coming of someone very important as the light illuminates the entirety of the chamber. This is no longer there.
Easy.
Where is Mazel?
I somehow feel more important.
You look great from back here.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
So there were 3 kids.
3 kids dead right now.
There leaves how many left?
That would leave 13 kids left at the moment, including 13 kids. That includes the nobles and everybody.
How old were these ones?
Some were as young as like 6 years old, so it was like about a 6-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
All very young, all full of life, had a whole future ahead of them, so
Oh
it
boy.
was robbed.
Not great.
Nope, not great.
Not great.
I mean, technically, they lived longer than they were going to.
I knew that argument was going to come. I knew when I was writing the notes this
Me,
week.
as a player, was also thinking that. But
That's
still.
speaking, not Airy, by the way.
I knew
Very
when I
silent.
was developing this problem, this was going to be the rationale.
So Hunter is worse than Aerie.
Yeah,
Confirmed.
I knew this was going to happen.
Good. And see the company we keep.
So we're in like a T intersection right now.
Yeah. So as you come into the area, because of the light, how far does the light go on Mosnell?
30 feet.
It is
20 and 20.
feet.
20 feet.
Yeah,
Yeah, boy. I know about that cantrip.
It's a good game.
20 feet. 20 feet bright light. 20 feet
Dim.
dim light.
Okay. So you can see the
And it is colored as I like, so it is naturally periwinkle.
Naturally.
beautiful.
Naturally. It occurs in nature.
As the periwinkle Mosno illuminates the world.
It's so pretty.
You can see all sorts of stonework and all this water trickling through, like each of these pebbled stones that have been laid piece by piece and cemented together. They have all sorts of vines and overgrowth on them in various areas from both the ceiling and the ground. The place smells very clean and uninhabited for the most part. There doesn't seem to be any animal droppings or any other sounds besides just the movement of water to and fro. There are, in front of you, it seems to be some sort of stairs or like ladders heading down, but the entire place is covered in locks, and you can see 3 locks that will allow you to actually access the ladder right now. And it's not just like deadbolt locks, it's like you put them into stone and they would turn, and the stones would allow you to actually grip onto the stuff that leads further down into the earth.
Can I tell from which way the water is flowing?
From where you are, it's flowing from behind you guys, so from where you just came from, and out 3 different directions. So where you are at that crossway, it's flowing in front of you and then right and left.
Yeah.
But it's not a lot of water. It's just like a trickle right now.
Well, I suppose we could split up. It would be quicker.
Ari is gonna start moving towards the left path
All right.
just to see what he sees.
When you
Alright,
find
I will
something,
go-
regroup with us.
I will go right.
Okay.
I'll go right with you.
Okay.
I'm
I'll
going
talk to
straight.
Brian.
Okay.
I'm
So you're
staying,
going to talk to Brian?
Yeah.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm staying with the group.
You staying with the group? All right. Osno goes back. They lose their fun light. But you guys have some torches handed out by the Sworn. So that continues as Masno comes back into the place. How long does it
Oh, is
last?
she not in there?
No, she's
Light
still
lasts
with
for
the
a
children.
Oh, I'll stay in the room then if she's not there.
All right, all right.
Just because I'm lit up.
Brian
It's
is
1 hour. So.
Okay.
I'll just stand in the middle.
All right.
Did you find anything?
No, as everyone is just searching, as soon as everyone leaves, Masno immediately asks if anybody found anything.
Oh
Just
yes,
kinda-
there are some rocks, Masno.
I
Stay where
like
you are.
rocks. Can you pick some up for me?
Oh, there's some near you as well.
I'm gonna light my own torch, by the way.
Okay. One of the Sworn go to give him a torch, and they were like, "Get away from me." The
Oh, I didn't realize they tried to hand me it.
yeah, they did. They did.
I would take that.
Nah.
Come on.
Oh yeah, I mean that's great. Ari happily accepts the torch. You're all right. Since no one is gonna revive the kids, Brian
Can't.
sits down, and
Can.
there are ways.
It's
Do it.
for, It's for Shalmir.
Shalmir's not part of the squad.
Yeah, but long game.
Okay, if that's how you want to play, sure.
Strange.
Yeah. Brian leans down and gives them the blessing of the forest as they give to those in death, and eases them into the next world. As everyone takes a very somber moment to say goodbye to these 3 children.
I will help with whatever preparatory measures need to be taken.
It's just a few words. The north in the forest is one of very few rituals and as modest as they come.
You have died.
That would be a Masno, last rites.
Few words.
All right, so give me investigation checks for everybody looking for crap.
I'll just kind of like look around at my feet.
21.
All right, 21. We'll come to you.
Investigation.
What do you got?
Uh,
do Belfina.
11.
Yeah.
Belfina first. 11.
Yeah.
Looking around, it's dark. It's tough to see.
She's gonna get tentacle grabbed by a
As
rover.
you see all these the locks in front of you, you do look up and you notice some interesting vine work above you. It catches your attention and reminds you of the brambles of home. And it seems like one after the other are all interlocked on each other. And it's definitely a different color and different type of vines from everything else that's inside here.
Well, that's weird.
Audibly. Easily, Mosdell, you can hear that. You're within earshot when you hear Delphina say that.
What's weird?
The vines.
As you Mosnell walks up to look at vines, I hope.
Yeah.
Okay, you approach her and look up,
Such a dynamic.
and you see vines discolored from the other vines. They're like a much lighter brown, and they're all interwoven together.
Can I reach it if I went to grab it?
It's probably 2 feet out of your height right now. You could definitely just like take your
Stand
Can I
axe.
jump for it?
You can try.
I'm gonna try to jump and grab one.
Okay.
Oh, I thought he was gonna try to stand on my shoulders. That's such a funny thing to look at.
Just looks at Bellona or Belfina.
Oh no, I got a better idea. I'm gonna look like I'm gonna be like ready to jump. Then I'm gonna look at her and be like, I could pick you up and you could try to grab me.
Oh, okay, that might be a better idea.
All right, I'll pick Belfina up and put her above my head.
All right, no check required. Give me another investigation check as he puts you up into the vines.
No check required.
Advantage?
No,
Okay.
So that was an 8.
an
You
8.
have
Your
eyelash.
cute.
Thanks.
Your little hands are able to traverse your way through the vines, and you start finding all sorts of things up there. Are you finding rocks start dropping down? You start finding vines and stuff, little twigs. Some dirt starts coming down. A lot of stuff. It just keeps all getting in Mosnell's beard as he's just like holding you, just focused with his periwinkle light everywhere. The illumination of the light is sort of not helping you because it's light coming from the bottom up, casting a shadow from what you're looking into. So that's not helping you too much, but you do feel other things in there. You're just having a tough time grabbing them right now.
I feel things.
Oh,
We all.
Jesus.
I do right now. I'm feeling for those kids.
Yes, indeed.
Cannon.
I'm still in the other room.
So I almost forgot about reliable talent.
Okay.
So I rolled a 1, but it's actually a 19.
Oh,
Only everything without age.
Reliable talent.
that's terrific news. Disgusting. As you get to yet another fork in the road, Ari, you see more water trickling. You see an overpass that seems to lead down another waterway entrance, and another one that the overpass is to your right, and that leads down to another waterway, and then to your left is another waterway that seems to be curving at the end of it that is following more water deeper into the elaborate waterway system.
All right, I'm gonna walk back towards the center group.
So perfect.
Okay. So you were feeling things. Did you have any response to that, Mosnell, or are you just gonna let that
what was he doing?
be? You were holding her, and Delphina was like, "Hey, I'm feeling things."
Yeah. Like what kind of things?
I'm not sure. I can't quite reach it to know.
All right, there's 2 ways to go that way.
I'm gonna go on my tippy toes and try to get her even higher.
All right. You gain an extra couple inches of grabbing space. Give me another investigation check with advantage. As Aries shouting this out, as both of them are ignoring them. And
I walk back and I start talking, and I'm like, "What are you guys doing?"
That's
We're
weird.
looking at the vine.
16.
16. As
Those
Ari
are
does this,
probably
it's
the
like,
roots from the forest upstairs.
as you're going through all this and you feel something metal in your hands, you start pulling out all these things that start falling down, and it's like a rock, an ingot that's made and fine and well and done, and all of a sudden you hear a key ting, ting, ting hit onto the sewer floor.
What was that? Oh,
Okay.
Wait,
we
I found
found a
something.
key. I see. My hands are still up here. So someone
I'll-
pick up the key.
Ari walks over and picks up the key.
As like Belfina is like knee deep inside the roots up there, disappeared into all these interwoven areas.
I'll try to pull it back out.
As you
As
gently
gently as
start
possible.
pulling her out, all these like little bits of berries just start falling down, bunches of them.
I found some grapes.
I'm gonna pick up a berry and look at it.
It is not a good berry.
Don't eat these.
So what
So
are you
that
doing
it-
over there, by the way? Was it Ralia and Bologna? As all the fun is happening, the two serious ones are going around the corner quietly searching. What did you guys roll?
14.
14 and 21. Ralia, you're just... are you emitting any light by you? Or do you have a torch? You
Oh,
have a
I
torch.
I have a torch that I'll use light on.
Okay.
And mine will be green instead.
Oh, competing
A nice
ideas.
foresty green.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
The two of you, your feet with little bits of water tapping through, start looking about this area, and you get towards the turn here in the road, and you see another one of those doors that has different locks, keys, and puzzle pieces on it, different from the first door you saw, different shapes, and you do see by the door a bunch of like bodies pushed into the wall and stuck into the wall.
Bodies, you say?
Yes, I do say bodies. Now is not the time. Ralia, they definitely pique your interest as you see they're all skeleton bodies, but they have some bits of plate armor on them.
Is there like pouches or anything like that?
What's that?
Pouches
Yeah,
or
is there
anything
anything on them?
Yeah.
They're in the stone is the thing. So
boy.
you just have bits
Oh,
and
boy.
pieces of their arms sticking out of the stone and their heads and like bits of the feet, but all their like wares are in the stone and encased in the stone.
I wonder what happens if you get them out.
But we could see if they could get themselves out.
I like the way
And
you
I'll
think.
cast Animate Dead on them.
Okay. Do you want to explain that again just so I can make sure I have it all down?
Yeah, so I target a corpse or a pile of bones,
Uh-huh.
and they become a skeleton
Yep.
or a zombie,
Perfect.
depending on which one it is.
Okay.
And then I can command them mentally
Okay, cool.
each turn.
All right, so are you doing all three of them or just one of them?
I'll do all three of them, yeah.
Okay.
So that'll be 4th level.
So you have like two on the side and one halfway in the ceiling. As they come, you see like their life start filling into the bodies and like their faces coming to as the periwinkle, like you can see the light filling into their bodies and like periwinkle glowing eyes inside them as Bellona just kind of looking in horror as things are coming back to life, something you never, ever, ever see in your
Except for
adventures.
the last time.
Yes, of course. Except the last time you interacted with Ralia, yes, of course. But most things stay dead in the wild from where you come from.
Unsettling.
Oh, there's skeletons.
You're nowhere
Run
close. You're nowhere
towards them.
close. You're around the corner.
This isn't easier the second time.
All right, Ralia, what are you doing as they come back
So
to
they're-
life? And they're just sort
Are
of
they
looking
still,
around.
are they still like stuck in the rock?
Yes, they are definitely stuck in the rock, but you just see their little, like, the feet and the hands moving and the head slowly, like, little bits of the bodies are trying to move, and they're sort of looking around, trying to gauge what's going on.
I'll just be like, come, free yourself. Tear the rocks around you. They'll try to...
As you're trying to pull them out of the rocks and move them, like, one of the arms comes off of one of them, another one's just like, this isn't Game of Thrones, as they're trying to get out of the rocks. Yeah, no, they don't have vocal boxes, so all they have is like magical. So one of them's really raspy. He's not doing so hot, but one of them is after a couple of goes, as you pull an arm off another one, just sort of gives up already.
Did you get enough parts to just make one?
Yeah, there we go. Can I just start pulling them off? And
Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
do that?
As you start taking off heads, start
like
taking
Legos.
bones, you're putting together.
wrong.
Give me a medicine check.
Oh my god.
As you try and remember what bones go where.
Oh my god.
17.
17. You're missing a lot of bones, but you got a general idea as you start to make the bone abomination.
Brain.
Oh no.
As you start
File
putting
names
pieces
and
together, some extra feet, one leg's a little taller than the other. You have this big head on it. That seems a little too
Got
big
two
for the
left
sternum.
arms.
Yeah, there's a lot of pinky bones. You have at least like 4 pinkies and 1 normal hand on there. There shouldn't be. There's only 3 guys, but there's 4 pinkies on 1 hand. That doesn't make any sense.
That's confusing.
So there's a lot going on right now. And as it comes together, it comes out all these bones. You see it. Just feeling a little weird right now. Just
Well, that doesn't look quite right. It'll do. And I just look at Bologna, like,
Not easier the second time.
still not getting better.
Still not better.
All right. Are you interacting with it in any ways, or anything you want to do with it? As it's
I'm just gonna tell it to try to keep getting at the rest of the skeleton parts, see if I can salvage another one.
okay. So because you've removed all these, there's like little holes now for it to start reaching into with your skin getting in the way. Bones get in there much easier, and he's able to be like, oh, I can't reach that, and it reaches and takes a little bit of its other arm and puts it into the other arm to make it a little longer, and it starts fishing around, and you start seeing like pouches
Omega
and
skeleton.
different arms
Exhorting.
being ripped out, and you see one of the other heads being like, it's sort of working. All right. As it picks it up, oh, hey, no. So it just throws it in the pile of bones, and they're all sort of like, you hear like the xylophone of bone thing going on as they're like sort of coming together and trying to come, and then like they're falling because they're not being able to take a structure. As this thing is just taking all these pouches and all these different pieces of these 3 different bodies out of the wall. Some of them are still stuck in there, but you get a majority of the stuff out.
What did we find?
Alright, I'll
Investigation
start
check.
going through. Yep.
Ralia bends down, very fancy, graceful like, making sure not to get the dress too wet on the bottom floor.
Wow.
Starts going through all the stuff as Bologna just goes right into it.
19.
19, all right? What about you?
16.
16. So Bologna, you're the one that ends up finding 2 pieces of gold in there, but they have symbols of a much older version of gold pieces, something that's not really around these parts.
Seem like
Yeah, nothing you've seen in your
doesn't
currency.
seem like the current version.
As you continue to shift through stuff, you're finding rusted daggers that are broken in half, and
Trash.
Yep, you see must be rotten food,
Trash.
stuff that's been all put into stone. Ralia, you're basically just finding everything after Belfina puts it towards you, as everything is like empty. Oh, what? That's Belfina. God damn it. Bellona. God damn it. I hate both their names being exactly the same, except slightly different. Okay, so as you go
To
through
be
all
fair,
that,
I was the original.
that is fair.
That is true.
B Alpha and B Omega, their new names.
Oh my god.
Anyway, as you look through there, you find one of the keys and to the door in front of you right now, but it looks all chiseled and crappy and broken like. That's what Bellona pulls out as Ralia is sort of just pushing everybody aside, not finding anything in there. Most of it's been left.
Cast mending on the key.
Okay. What does mending do? Obviously, it's mending it. It's going to rebuild it, but I want to know exactly.
The spell repairs a single break or tear in an object you touch, such as a broken chain link, 2 halves of a broken key, a torn cloak, or a leaking wineskin.
Wow.
As long as the break or tear is no longer than 1 foot in any dimension,
Oh, yeah, that's-
you mend it, leaving no trace of the former damage.
All right. As you go to...
So if it's like more than 1, I can just do it multiple times.
Nope, this is just one. As you go to mend it, stuff starts coming on it, and then it all falls away, and then there's just a key inside.
Huh.
Cool.
Easy.
All right.
Did the skeletons have any weapons on them?
No, all that stuff is just broken
Rusted
shards of stuff.
dagger.
Mostly daggers. All the daggers, honestly. There's
Did
no...
anyone pick up the key at my feet?
Harry did, if I recall.
Harry did? Okay.
Yep.
Was I able to salvage another skeleton out of those discarded bones, or
No. you just have monster skeleton right now, that is
Okay.
disproportionate,
Sure.
and you have a pile of sentient bones on the ground.
Yeah, this can stay there.
All right.
I mean, I don't really
You're
like
a monster.
it, but you might, if you're feeling resourceful, you might want to take some extra bones for the road or something.
Idiot.
Get a bone bag.
Huh?
I'll pick up the sack that we were rummaging through and stuff some bones in it.
Deployable army.
You're all welcome. Fanlin Crew is officially fun. You're all welcome. It finally happened. A bunch of kids just got murdered, and we're laughing minutes later.
Family
I'm
was
I'm
always
still
the
having a
fun
bad
one.
time in the
No,
other
it's
one.
water deep, right? Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Don't
Those
worry.
kids may be dead, but they can be undead.
I swear to God, that's where the line is drawn. PvP happens there.
Oh no! Wow!
No one
Not
did.
okay.
What dead children?
Not allowed.
Hard rule.
Anything's allowed.
Just be prepared for the consequences, bruv.
Very much so. This was Luke's last week of play.
Clerics who are late to the party.
All right. So, Bellona comes back to the party, turning the corner with Ralia, who has a sack of something, and you see her just stuffing things in. Just one last little tightening up the bag as she walks with this.
I want to like fix it to the other skeleton.
Oh,
so
beautiful.
He's, like carrying spare parts.
So here, doing the work
Spare
for
wheel
her.
on the back of the car.
As this periwinkle, glowing-eyed skeleton is just slowly, disproportionately walking with this,
Not
like...
even a skeleton, an abomination.
Yes, it is called Skeleton Abomination. As it
For
turns
sure.
the corner.
Ares just looks, and is just like,
I'm just shaking my head.
hey Mosnell, can you follow me for a bit?
Yeah.
I just turn around and start walking down that pathway.
All right. Mosno goes down that way. Belfina is taken out and put down as all the berries are on the ground. The two of them. She holds up a key, and Bellona does the same thing as they do have this wordless just...
No, I have the key.
Oh, you're right, you do. Yeah, never mind. So just you then.
Got a
Showing it.
key.
Okay, so you guys get back to the fork. There's one way under a crevice, and then there's another way turning around.
I think we're just supposed to find these keys. Do you have a preference on left or right?
Right.
Let's go through the crevice.
All right, as you start getting through the crevice, I need you guys to try and squeeze your way through. Give me some dex checks.
The water walk is probably worn off, right?
Well, how long is that? 8 hours?
Oh, is it 8 hours?
It's a
No.
long
Okay.
time.
No way.
That's a 13.
13.
It's 1 hour.
As you're pushing your way through, Ari, what'd you get?
17.
17. Ari is already on the other side staring at you, and you're like pushing all of the like rocks aside as it's starting to get wider for you to get through, and you're like, "Rah!" And then you get through as you crash at his feet, as now it went from like this wide to this wide.
It's 1 hour.
1 hour?
Oh,
Yeah, we're
it's
getting up
easier
on
for
it.
everyone else to get through.
All right, so I hold my torch up and
5 minutes
look around. What am I seeing?
You see another wall with another bunch of keyholes and key places on it, and just the water has picked up inside here, so it's up to your knees, and it's rushing a little faster.
It's a good
Oh, that's not good.
I'll try. How many keyholes are there?
On this one, there are 3.
That's not
Okay.
good either.
I'm gonna see if my key fits any of them.
Okay. As you click through the first one, second one, third one, none of them seem to be fitting.
This is all bad.
well, let's look around to see if there's a key in this room first.
All right, make investigation checks.
Looking for a key. 12.
Okay.
15.
15. As you guys work together, thankfully, you're able to find nothing on the walls, nothing by the key area, but you do find interest inside the water where it's been picked up, and you can actually see a grate in there where all the water is coming through, and there seems to be something stuck on the opposite side of the grate.
Can you pick
What
up
is
this
it?
grate?
It's like, so here would be like the floor where that door is, and it's just this tiny thing that you would you have to put your head under the water to see little grate in front of you. It's right at
I
the
put my hand
bottom.
on the water.
All right. Well, okay, it's dark down there. It's underwater.
I'm glowing.
That's true too. All right, as you open your eyes, you see.
Is it salt water?
No, it is not salt water.
Bummer.
You see a bunch of stones all stuck as the water's pushing past them through that grate your way. You see a handful of stones and more vine work underneath there and some overgrowth.
Like similar to what we went through to find the other one, the other key.
Yeah, similar looking stuff.
Can we take the grate off to like get in there?
You could try.
We can try. I try to pull it off.
Give me a strength check.
Can I help him?
Yeah, sure.
I'll give him advantage
Give me advantage.
because I am not as strong.
Nice.
Strong
Okay.
muscles. Strong
Strength. That is a 19.
Nothing. None of stone even budges. This is stonework that is weather time. You can't move it. You definitely feel it in your back.
That is in there.
And I can see like there's a metal glint past like inside the grate.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, the grate itself, like the bars are pretty wide. It's not like
Can
it's.
Can I reach in to get that?
Yeah, you can try and reach in. Sure.
I'm gonna try and reach in to
All right.
grab.
Give me a dex check.
Silly. Imagine.
Sleight of hand. As you're trying to slip whatever you're grabbing through the bars.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
25.
25. You start pulling them all out. There's like all kinds of crap coming out towards you now, and you're just shoveling them back. And you're like, "Get up!" And Mazda's like, "Oh, all right," and just catching rock after rock into his hands. All right.
That's useless. The rock.
Yeah.
Is that what you do? You start throwing all the rocks behind you?
Actually, the rocks I'm gonna compare them, and the nicest rock I'm gonna put in my pocket.
Okay. Okay. So you toss all the other rocks behind you, and you put one in your pocket. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Because I had noticed a metallic glint, so I'm aiming towards that.
Uh-huh. As you look down there, the metallic glint was just more grates reflected deeper into the area.
Rip.
So there's like rows of them.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe this is just the keyhole area. I don't know.
I'm gonna look at the rock from my pocket.
Okay.
I got a nice rock.
Is he gonna kill the final boss with that rock?
It's pretty nice. As you start turning it over in your hand, you find it's not really a strong rock, and as you go to be like, "Oh, that's really nice," it crumbles in your hands. And as it crumbles in your hands, it just kind of like dust comes out, and you see a silver coin just fall into the water and go shh.
I'm gonna try and grab it before it rushes away.
All right, give me a sleight of hand check.
Easy. He's rogue.
19. 19.
Yep. Easily you grab it. This is a modern silver coin that you've seen, so you can add one silver to the inventory if you want.
One silver. Yay.
Did anything happen with the rock? I cut out for a second.
It crushed in your hand, and a silver coin was revealed, and then Ari took it when it fell from your hand.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the other rocks.
Okay. So now you have to go find them because you just threw them and they went down into the area. So they're now deeper into the waterway as you're like squatted over trying to feel for rocks. Give me an investigation check with disadvantage.
Oh no. I'm still glowing, by the way.
I'm
The
aware.
first one was good.
Well, what's the second one?
Second one was a natural 20.
I hate this guy.
He's so good at this
The
game.
first one was a 19, and I get a +0, so it's 19.
God. Yeah, you're able to find them just fine as you get deeper down the line. They were just about to turn the corner and go down the waterway further, and just before you see them dropping into a bigger sewage drain, you grab them.
Oh.
And as you grab them, pull them to your chest, they all start crumbling in your hands. As you
I'm
appear,
trying to just cradle it.
as you're cradling it, and Ares catching up with you, you see just some vines, some old rusted garbage and nonsense, and one of them is a key.
Easy.
I'm so excited.
Try that on one of the holes.
One.
No, you guys are down here. So you want to walk all the way back there?
I thought you said there were 3 keyholes in this room.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. But
Yes,
yes,
so
you guys
let's
you
back
walk
up.
down to go catch the keys, but you're walking back to the keyhole place. Yep.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The
Yep.
keyholes.
First one.
All right. Click.
Second one.
One clicks. The one you had,
Oh,
Brian, clicks in the first place. Yep.
Oh, okay. I'll try yours.
Well, I tried mine in all 3 and it didn't fit.
But maybe you need the first one.
I'll try it in the second slot.
Doesn't work.
Okay.
Let's get the other one.
What other one?
Isn't there a third?
We didn't actually notice that.
They
Well, let's
didn't
go
notice
see
that
what
in
the-
real life, but this is still fine for Mosno.
Okay. It's like,
There's no reason he would
Did
not
we
assume
not
we
find 3?
already have them.
I mean, we could check in with the group to see if
Let's
anybody.
check in on them.
All right.
All right.
Actually, before we do, let's go down the other pathway because there was a fork. So let's go down the left pathway.
All right. You leave the key?
I'm gonna take the key with me.
Okay. Ari takes out the key and now has 2 of the keys. As Mosno has just realized, he has 2 less keys than Ari. As they walk down.
If it's not too much, could I hold one of the keys?
I'll give
It
him.
looks a little heavy.
I'll give him his key.
Okay. Masno, you feel excitement as you are contributing to the
Yes,
group.
I'm glowing and have a key.
Yes, you do. He's important. If you found him in a video game, he would also sell really cool items.
Nice.
As you guys turn the corner, you see another familiar-looking way down with keyholes on it. This place has just tons of overgrowth on it. And you see
And
3 slots as
keyholes.
well over here.
I'm gonna try my key on any of those.
Okay. Your key works on the 3rd one.
Okay. Maznal, try your key.
Try it again.
Nope, doesn't work on the first one.
Ooh.
Try it on the second one.
Does not work.
Try to the third.
I'm gonna take my key out. Let's look in this area to see if there's anything out of place.
Sure, make investigation
6
checks.
keys.
What are the rest of you guys doing?
Crying.
Just chilling, looking at one another? Yes, you're crying.
Sprucing up my skeleton.
Oh my god.
Why don't you look around
Distancing myself
here? I'll
from
go
said
get.
skeleton.
I'll go see what the other guys are doing. See if they
Okay.
found another key, and I'll go back to see if anyone's found the key.
Alright, as Mazno goes back, what'd you roll for investigation?
Regular 20.
Okay. This is probably the cleaner of all the waterways. You see that sewer drain, and down there doesn't seem to be any more rocks collecting like you saw beforehand. Just looks like a lot of mud and what would be... It's not seaweed, but you know when grass and all sorts of forestry gets really, really wet and murky. It's just sort of all piling up as that grows down there, and some of the autumn leaves as well. But there's nothing besides waterway walls and floors right now.
I'm gonna just diff my hand through that muck.
It's about 15 feet down from you.
Oh.
It's like a
I
long
don't-
drop down there.
His arm gets really long.
Fantastic.
There nothing. It's just the floors in this grate that is like that could look like it holds anything.
It just looks like it's collecting a lot of waste, and your eyes are helping illuminate the area too. I forgot. Your tattoos and eyes are still glowing, so you actually have an illuminance to you yourself.
Freaking weirdo.
Fucking weird.
Anything on the ceiling that I can pick out?
Just stonework as you try and jiggle stones to see if any of them are traps or anything is
Anything
loose.
on the walls that looks like it's out of place?
Nothing right
Any
now.
stones that move?
Nothing. Not with that roll. So, Mazal, you return to the group and you find Abomination Skeleton standing next to Ralia. You see Bologna with a very unamused look on her face. Belfina, how have you reacted to the Abomination Skeleton?
I don't know yet.
She's still looking it over.
I don't know about this.
I was just sitting there sort of doing like a little jig. He's like, I'm Mr.
I'm gonna
Bones.
come in, look at the skeletons, then look at Rauya, look at the skeletons, look at that, and then I'll point back and forth. They, you, yours,
You can do it.
Are they your skeletons?
It's one skeleton, and yes.
See the skeleton? Used to be different. I used to be 3.
Oh my god,
Under its
you
breath.
need to learn the awakening spell.
Did you guys find a
sentience.
key? A third key. We have 2. Do we have
make
a
this a
third?
monster. Google Frankenstein.
What did he say? I was distracted. by him
He was
with the
asking
third
if
key.
you have any keys.
Oh, yeah,
Anybody?
here.
Oh, you got a key? Ooh, come on.
Oh, there,
We
there was
need-
there was some keyholes
3
back there
keys.
too.
Miles, not like an intelligence check.
This is a good puzzle.
Natural 1.
Oh no! I bamboozled him.
I bet that detective in Skolberheim wouldn't figure this out. I bet I could hire him. Wonder how Skolberheim's doing. Oh yeah, not so well.
Not so well.
As you space out, as Bellona just sort of look at the key and Ralia looking at her abomination, as Ulazal is slowly working his way into the chamber now with tears in his eyes, as Brian is as well walking in here.
Have you made any
Harry
progress?
makes his way back after
Okay.
finding nothing.
Okay.
Ooh, Eri.
Yeah.
Bellona has a third key, but there are keyholes over there and over here.
Ari just walks down that pathway to find those keyholes.
As you walk over, you see all bits of like discarded bones, little pieces of like hand bones and finger bones that were just, broken or irregular sizes. You see a couple like skeleton heads, 2 of which are just sort of like glowing with periwinkle eyes, just staring up towards the wall right now as you approach another area with keyholes.
I'm gonna try my key on any of them.
None of them work.
I'm gonna walk back to the group.
Okay. As you ignore the skeletons, just
not even.
unacknowledged, and the
This point, they're
skeletons are just like,
lighting fixtures.
yes, they are now.
So we have 3 keys, and there's 3 areas that have 3 keyholes. 9 keyholes total. Each key corresponds to one specific keyhole, it looks like, though. Ralia. Or wait, who has the key? Bellona or Ralia?
I have the key.
Bellona.
Crossbow lady, did you try your key on any of those holes?
Nah. I got a name too.
Bellona.
There's an
What?
inspector one.
Can you try your key on one of those holes?
Sure.
As Bellona walks over, you try the holes. Your third keyhole works, I believe.
Okay, leave that there.
The same as your key.
Mosnell, go to our area and put it in the first keyhole like you did before.
Mazna walks
gonna-
over, does that, and
I'm gonna go over to the third area and put mine in that third slot like before.
as you all click the holes, the entire world collapses. No, I'm kidding. Yes! You found the secret ending and broke the game! No. You see they all click into place, and where you're standing, Belfina, you see the first place you guys walked in, the locks open up.
Guys!
Some of them.
All of you feel like you did something right.
Yes.
That felt
Make our
right.
way back.
All right, as you come back, everyone is filed in. Brian looks towards all of you. Wonderful job. It looks like that did the trick. You all are able to descend downward. So, do you all descend further into the depths of the castle?
Into the
Yep,
deep.
I'll go first.
All right.
'cause I'm glowing.
Mazno glowing goes all the way down as they enter into this area. You guys enter this massive cavern ravine, all the children getting down there. You see this massive stonework inside there with a couple boxes on it, like open type of areas, but there's all sorts of bars on it. You actually see what would be stables, tons and tons of stables that go for just quite a while. Think about an air hangar, airplane hangar. Give it another like story or two above, so it's really high as well. And this is the entire area that's been carved out. And as the last person comes down the ladder, Brian, the up top closes and you hear all the locks happen again, and you can all hear like the keys fall out of their keyholes. You hear these tink and like disappear. You go down into here. Dirt area. It's all dirt pathing all about, and you can see multiple massive tunnels collapsed in all around. You all have a chance to gather with some tables that are set out there, and it looks like this is a modern area that like people are normally have been to this place, unlike your last couple areas. More stonework cavern, but you have both the stables, the massive box is next to you, and the sworn are now lighting lights. Emotionally exhausted are the children, the nobles, Sari Clovis, and Brian in the sworn right now. There is a table around which you guys can start pulling up some chairs and finding some stuff. You can actually hear the murmur of some animals. It sounds like the hum and baaing of sheep in the background back there. And you can hear this like low rumble of sort of like water movement, sort of like a waterfall inside there. So it has a much calmer feel to everything. I'm going to pause the super exciting music, so that's not happening. And you all are gathered inside this area as Brian, exhausted, but as lights turn on more and more, you all can see, starts to introduce herself to all of you. Well, thank you all for coming to my aid. This was unexpected, and I have many, many questions for all of you. We should be safe here for a little while. Actually, could be quite a while. The caves were collapsed in on us as we were attacked quite a while ago by the Cobalt Alliance. They were able to know the insides and outs of our world, our kingdom. They had insider information that even my closest, even my sworn, do not know and do not know how to come about. I am baffled with how well prepared they were and how they were always a couple steps ahead of all of us in what transpired. But
that's the Cobalt Wolves for you.
So what are your names?
Belnona.
Nice to meet you, Belnona.
I am Luzol.
Nice to meet you, Ulazal.
I'm Belfina.
It's nice to meet you, Belfina.
I am Ari.
Nice to meet you, Eri.
Raria.
Nice to meet you, Ralia.
And my skeleton is gonna reach his hand out for like a handshake, and I'll cast message inside her head. I'm Jim.
She reaches out. Nice to meet you, Jim. You see no judgment, unfazed.
Oh boy. I'm true.
This is a place we use for overflow when animals come to us during times of worry, and typically when the giants go to areas and they're hunting on grounds to change up the patterns of the animals, they migrate here to Nature's Hold. Why did you come? How did you
Well,
come?
I was-
That room has never worked since I've been alive. We've always guessed it to be something of magical, but teleportation circles was not something we imagined.
One of these guys is probably better at explaining it than I would. I'm a bit newer to the group.
Remember, she towers over most of you. She's 7 feet tall,
Oh, yeah.
including
7 feet tall.
That's
Yeah.
everybody.
and
She big.
even her own drow, like she's towering over all them, uncharacteristically. Like all the drow are normal size for drow, like they're 5'7" to
Same.
5'10".
Same.
They're all normal sizes, but she has her sword at her side that is emitting a little bit of glow right now, and she's cross-armed, got a more serious face on. She had a smile on her face almost throughout everything, still trying to like look on the bright side of everything that was going on. It was always like the silver lining, but she's taken on a much more somber approach to what you guys are talking to in here.
for
Osno, I mean, this is kind of
how
your
we got here. but,
story.
It's his backstory.
We were doing a job in Yongguk, and a friend over there was able to send us here with the teleportation circle thing. As to why we're here, I was greeted multiple times by a ghostly wolf telling me that there was trouble up north and that I needed to find his champion Brian to save the north from something.
You see a slight smirk hit onto her face. Wolfie called me his champion.
Yes, he did.
He normally isn't so forthright with comments or compliments my way.
Laura's actually smiling.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you deserve it.
We did run into a bit of a roadblock though. When you first got these messages, it was 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
And
Yeah.
we got sidetracked by another evil that through some ridiculous magic displaced us in time.
For
And
5
we lost
years?
5 years. Yes,
We were fighting
roughly.
this demon named Orlith. There was something weird about the chamber we were in. It made time speed up outside while we were in the chamber. Or time slowed. I don't know how it worked, but when we came out of the fight, which to us only was a matter of hours, it was 5 years later.
I've actually experienced something similar to that in my lifetime.
Really?
Yes. It was maybe 1,500 years ago.
Oh, you've been around then.
So you see her laugh, and you see some of the sworn, like, oh my God. Haven't heard that in a long time. You could say that. I was in a different situation, but I was in confrontation with the one who imprisoned my people. That was how I was able to lead them out from the Underdark.
Who is this that imprisoned your people?
There's some goes by many names, but Lorith is the name that we called her.
Lorith.
Lorith.
Oh, sorry.
Spider Queen.
Never heard of him.
Good.
Is he dead? Did you?
Gods are hard things to kill.
He's a god.
She's a god.
Oh, sorry. Again. Oh.
I like you, Masno. As you hear some distress start shaking, or bleeding in the other area, you hear these. It's the sheep, my guy.
I know.
Jesus. You hear some disturbance and you see someone sworn like, what in the fuck? Do any of you go check it out?
Ari will go. Why not?
Yeah, I'll go with him.
Ari needs to do something.
Ari and
right
Olazal
now.
start walking away as Ari's definitely like, he's still at 100 right now as everyone's starting to slow down the pacing a little bit.
Harry, I'm not sure that you should have that stone.
Oh, yeah. I pull it out and I give it back to him.
I would put it in not the bag of holding, but another bag.
Okay.
Because that's, magic and magic. Weird stuff happens.
Yeah, I only meant to grab that and give it back to you. We've just been...
When you blacked out, something controlled seemed to take control of you, and it was responding with this stone, and I hesitate to think of the implications of that. And how did you feel when you didn't feel anything?
I have no idea.
And you're just okay now?
I mean, it felt like I went unconscious and then I woke up. I mean, I can see my tattoos are glowing, so something happened, but
I think I need to do some more research with this.
you and me both.
Let's go check out the sheep.
You guys are there. As like you end the sentence, you're there. You see the sheep, and you see all the sheep just like moving in all these directions. And you see these large horns curled above the sheep heads.
Nice and black.
Yep.
I leave.
There you are. Hail the darkness, right?
And you hear muffled "Hail the darkness" back there. Do you go back to see how he's doing?
Yeah. Is he like facing away from us? Like what?
There's just a bunch of sheep. There's tons of sheep, and you see some
Oh.
swarm just trying to push the sheep aside to see what's getting them all upset.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go up to our friendly demon goat.
All right. As you start pushing past all the sheep, you find the demon goat facing you. As you move the last one, it's like right there, and you're like, oh, God, it just keeps doing that. And you see him looking at your face, and he's a little happier. He sees you again, some excitement comes to his big googly eyes. Just like, hail the darkness!
Hail the darkness.
He gets real excited when you say that, and he starts hopping up and down. He's like, hail the darkness!
It's like a dog.
Maybe this is one of those like
We're making
name
skeletons.
tag things. Hail the darkness.
It starts getting even more excited, and it starts bouncing from side to side as like doing it in place, like these like running jumps as it's going around and around. And you start to feel some wind moving as he's doing this.
Ooh.
He says, "Hail the darkness" again.
Hail us all.
What? It starts to slow down when you say
come
that.
back real quick.
It starts to go even. The wind starts to dissipate, and he starts to calm down.
Hey, Brian, you want to see something weird?
She's still mid-conversation with Mosnell right now. So she hears that and looks over. There's, I guess so. We'll come right back to this, Mosnell. As she walks over and comes to you, what is it, Ulazal?
I walk over to the goat.
Okay. As she walks with you guys over to the goat. What is that?
So here's the thing. Hail the darkness. Hail the darkness. Hail the darkness.
It's getting excited every time you say it, and it's saying, hail the darkness back. The wind starts going again.
Maybe you shouldn't.
I'll say it like 8 times.
Oh, well, on the 4th time, you start seeing summoning circles. Stop. Open.
I
No, it's too late. As the summoning circles come up, and you see, I need you to roll percentage die.
Oh my gosh. 5.
What was it?
A 5.
A 5. All right. As it dances up and down, and Brian feels the wind, and she's like, "These are summoning circles. What is going on?" From the circles. Are you guys
Nice
leaving?
seeing you.
You leaving?
Well, we gotta go to bed because we gotta get
Oh, that's right. Well, have a wonderful trip.
Thanks again.
It was wonderful seeing you all.
Bye, nice meeting you.
Oh. Sleep well. From the ground, there's 4 of these circles, and you see that wind pushing them all up. They're all red and so evil looking, these circles.
Oh,
and
my
out
God.
from them, you see greater healing potions coming out like crazy.
What the?
About like, I'd say about 20 of them hit the ground. 5 from each place, and you see them bouncing. Hail the darkness!
What?
And as you guys like look down and look up, he's gone.
What?
I don't have the detect magic on me right now.
I mean, he just started getting excited when I said it back to him.
Brian starts picking up a couple. My friends need these. As he starts taking a couple of them. You're right, Wilazar. That was very weird. She walks over to her sworn and starts handing out into the children. Children first.
I start collecting greater healing potions,
All
I
right.
guess.
There's 15.
Oh my god.
Alright, I'll
Nice.
Are we not
Bring
just
'em
gonna?
back.
We're just gonna accept potions from demons now.
As you guys are walking, give me a perception check.
This motherfucker's gonna steal from me
It's in
again.
a tree.
19.
Perception. Okay, it's 11.
Wilazar's too busy talking like, this is wrong! As Ares holding all these, and you casually look up and you see on the top of the stables on the inside, you just see him sitting up there, like laying down in a nest right now, just being bug-eyed, unblinking, just content, just way up there. As you guys exit the animal area.
They hailed the darkness.
I'm gonna bring these greater healing potions back and distribute them between the group.
They're all like glowing red healing potion, greater healing potions too.
I don't want none of that. Nope.
You see all that. All right.
Hey, Ralia, can you inspect these?
Yes.
I hand her this weirdly glowing red greater healing potion.
Just want to look at it.
Okay.
You know, just see if I feel anything magical about it initially. Anything.
Give me a Arcana check.
Will do.
Arcaner.
23.
Yo, let's go, dude.
No, just seems like a normal potion.
The glowing
Can you-
just seems
Are you
to
able?
be
Can you
kind of-
can you identify magical items?
I don't believe so. I might be able to. One second.
Worst wizard in it.
I don't think
What is even your purpose?
As Jim is just like, what? Kidding me right now?
Yeah, this whole time I'm like mentally commanding Jim just to like act like a normal person, so that Brian is like trying to get like a beat on him, but he's just like listening to my mental command. Yeah, no, I can't do that.
Oh, okay.
They're in their own
Well,
zone.
There's no something
Probably.
They're all Sari's just trying to calm them and calm each other, and Tim's with them. They're all
Well,
just
we have 15 of these to distribute throughout the group.
I don't want any. You can take.
So
those and
there's
do whatever
6
you
of
want
us
with them.
Where
with
did you get these?
Timazing. So remember the goat?
Yes.
Yeah. So I said "Hail the Darkness" a bunch of times to it. It got really excited and then like demon summoned.
Yeah, I'll pass 2. That's alright.
Ares slowly smiling like, I'm gonna have so many health potions right now. He's starting to see the numbers added up.
So
Healing
that's
potion's a healing
so
potion.
that'll be because there's 7 of us total in our current party, right?
Yes.
Essentially. So that's 5 of us who are, unless Timazing is not gonna want to take any.
Tim, it's looking fine. He's like, brother, take care of the children and yourself.
Okay.
Tim's pretty good right now.
too.
Delphina, you gonna take some of the potions, greater healing potions?
You're
I'll
gonna
take some.
devil juice.
All right,
Are,
all right.
do,
No,
do
I'm
any
not.
do any of the children
Ralia?
I killed these
look
things.
like bleeding, like actively hurt?
That's all been taken care of by the Sworn and Brian distributing all the health potions she had and the caretaking of the 2 older noble girls. They're also nurses, so they've been taking care of all the kids.
Okay, so then for I guess 3 each.
Yep.
For the 5 of us
3.
that are okay with having them.
Alright.
Okay, I'll take one.
I think
I'll
it's
take
just
Wait,
4.
actually,
There's
no.
4 of you. So.
4 of us. So
Just give some to the NPCs.
I
let's
was
do-
going to.
Yeah, we'll do 3 each, and then the last 3 out to other people.
Okay.
Okay.
Give some to Tim then, and Tim starts, oh, thank you, brother. And Brian looks at
I'd
all
like-
of them and looks at all of you. All right. There's still probably plenty of questions for you to ask, but we don't have too much time. My forces and my people are dying out there. I will not ask people I barely know to fight with me. But I can't imagine the spirit of the Force sent you here just to leave. I would be honored if you would help me try to achieve pushing back this Cobalt Alliance. They are great evil that will not let up. You were gone for 5 years.
Yes.
So you do not know of the All War, then?
The what?
The All War.
Would I know about it?
No.
Would I know about this?
Nope.
You guys would only have partial information that wouldn't
Is
have
this
led you to
is
all
this
war.
the war that began that came out in the north? Like we've known that it's been a war in the north for quite a while, but
We also heard about another war in Peng? Maybe.
Yes.
yeah.
Something
I
like
kinda
that.
know about that.
Thanks.
Yes, well, that's you guys know of those wars, so that's what you're bringing up.
Yeah. That's all we heard.
There-
You got a quick synopsis, not any details.
That's,
What's
I
the word
imagine
synopsis?
if you skip 5 years, that'll do it. Basically, the All War is all the kingdoms in the world are under siege. Every major kingdom has fallen under attack in the past 5 years. We don't understand how this happened, but the Cobalt Alliance was definitely the powder keg that set everything off.
Did they attack everywhere, or is it different factions?
Well, it started as small skirmishes as they were raiding our supplies on the borders, and we tried to put them back in line as we heard rumors that even my best informants were disappearing inside the city of Tendorf. It was heartbreaking to see everybody slowly disappear over time and our lands slowly wane as they pushed farther and farther in recompense for our poor cooperation. They started taking more and more places further and further, and individuals started showing up that we did not recognize nor understood their tactics. From Minna to Freya, an alliance was formed, and these individuals went to war with Skober and with Whitlin. Most of Whitlin is at war right now, trying to push back the Cobalt forces as they have a multi-front war on their hands. Thankfully, Minna had to deal with their own front coming out of and over the seas. They were ports of great monsters of madness landing on the coast of Minna, and that drew the Ivory Tusks back from their alliance with the Cobalt Wolves down to the Ivory Wall. They're at a stalemate south, but the Cobalt Wolves were able to push farther and farther north. We only get reports, but both the kingdoms of Jalasia and Penk were fighting for years before we ended up going to war. We were prepared. We saw all the signs, but people I trusted proved to be untrustworthy. The stone giants turned on us, and so did some of the hill giants. Many of people turned coated, and friends of mine disappeared. Some I even reached out to I could not find again. It was difficult for all of us to see so much of our land destroyed. They came for this final assault with maybe 10,000 soldiers. I can't imagine we can beat 10,000 soldiers. But if this is a sign, we have to try something. But again, I will not ask you alone to walk out with me to try and fight against all these ridiculous odds. I'm sending my swan with the noble children and the survivors, as Mace was good enough to fill me in on. How did you meet Mace?
As he's with the other group.
Well,
Their group is over there.
The job that we were doing over in the west was to retrieve Seri Clovis. And she in turn gave us other people she wanted to save from the city. One of them being him.
He's a very good person. He had a tough upbringing. I met him when he tried to fool the leaders of many different kingdoms with a treasure of lost to the ages. Nobody was fool enough to respond but me, as I wanted to see what was really going on. He tried to stow away on my ship and escape to the north, but we didn't want to start a war, go figure, by stealing a noble born. So I'm happy he's gotten away from his family.
Well, unfortunately, the situation of him getting away was not a happy one. There was an uprising in Clovis, and all the nobles were being slaughtered. That's why we were asked to pick up all the noble children, all these other people, in addition to Sari.
She's looking
They
all
were
over
slaughtering people on the streets.
Who did that?
Well,
As far as we could tell, it was the people.
it was the people of the city rising up against the
People's
oppressive
Alliance.
nobles. But
Yes.
I imagine there's some other players who helped sow that discord.
There was the People's Alliance, I think is what they called themselves, the voice who
That's
was
right.
commanding the people.
People's Alliance, yeah.
I've never heard of them. That is
I imagine
disturbing
there's
news.
something either along the lines of or in league with Cobalt Tusks.
That was probably the first time the People's Alliance made themselves known.
On a large scale, we met envoys from them when we visited my city before we went into the mountain. That group of bandits that terrorized my home. They had mentioned that their original group had been disbanded, but they had joined the People's Alliance.
Interesting.
These are dark times, and I offer you the same passage I offer the nobles. I am sending them north, like I sent all the women, children, those who did not want to fight, who were not able to fight, to the Frostborn. They are far, far north, and no matter how much the Cobalt Alliance wants to claim this land, no one can claim the nature of the North. It is too inhospitable for those that aren't Northerners. The Sworn will be able to lead you there if you want to leave, and I can understand if you want to.
Well, I'm not going anywhere.
My
was
question to
tasked
you
with this.
is, if we're so outnumbered in this fight, wouldn't it be better to retreat, regroup, try to strike maybe differently? I can only empathize with the loss of your city and your kingdom as much as I can, but if we're so outnumbered, wouldn't it be just suicide to walk back out there?
This is all we have left. Once they're gone, there is no more of my kingdom, of my people. We've been fighting for years, and we have lost so many. This is all we have left. There is only one more city, not as far north as the Frostborn, that is being blockaded right now by the Cobalt Wolves ships. They couldn't get to us if we wanted them to, and it would be far too late to make a difference. There is a chance we can turn. What we lack in numbers of soldiers, we don't lack in numbers of animals. There is an entire area of our animal forces they captured. It is truly unthinkable how they were able to capture all of them and put them into these pits, and they put them on like trophies, standing over them inside their own camp. If we can release them, that will start causing quite a lot of havoc. There are siege towers we can burn to the ground. There are reinforcements that are trapped right now, pinned down. All areas I could not get to because I was being pushed back. We could do damage and maybe force their retreat if we cause enough trouble.
If we use stealth and strategy.
Yes.
Covert guerrilla tactics.
Yes.
Chip away,
I'm
Yes.
into that.
slowly gain our strength and take theirs. I
Absolutely.
particularly like this idea of freeing the animals to aid ourselves and make chaos for them. That sounds fantastic to me.
I
As
think
you,
maybe that should be our first priority then, because if we do that, we gain the advantage of the chaos from that, and we can use that to release to free your allies, and then we've got more organized tactics.
that is what I was
I agree.
thinking. So,
When do we start?
will you join me? I ask you as a friend in need.
Man.
Well, I'm definitely in. I'm from the north as well, and I'm not letting these outsiders decide what happens around here.
Xenophobia? Anyway. Sorry. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
I can only regret losing 5 years attempting to take the Cobalt Wolves down a peg and missing out on a potential opportunity to prevent this. So I'm all for it.
The North will be eternally grateful for all of you that help us, and it will never be forgotten. Everybody in?
Man.
All right. As you all agree to this and form an alliance with the King of the North, she reaches her hand out. This will allow my people to recognize you as allies. And she waves her hand on you guys. And for a second, you see the symbol of the North appear in front of your faces and disappear.
Sweet.
So you are now marked with the symbol of the North and a friend of the North.
Nice.
Easy.
Let's go update my description.
Oh yeah! We finally get to use the notes.
As your alliance happens, you can feel this other vibration inside this room of just.
Organization.
It feels like
North.
the ground itself is shaking at this alliance. Brian gives a quick glance and then, all right, shall we head out onto the battlefield, or shall we? I think you all should get a short rest in.
I mean, we've already been sitting here for like.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, how
probably
long?
been
Yeah, well, I would know.
It's gotta be. It's about an hour minimum for a
So,
short.
folks, how long is a short rest take?
An
again?
hour.
An hour?
An hour.
So you've absolutely been resting for an hour. So if you get a short rest, do you get everything back?
you
or
no,
just,
you get health
It
back.
depends.
from
It
short
depends on the class.
get
Some
dice.
people may
Oh,
get
yeah,
stuff back,
Warlocks are
but we can all roll hit dice to heal.
Okay, so that's what you can do right now. Time is of the essence. If you take a full rest, it will definitely be too late.
I'm going to use Arcane Recovery and recover some spells.
Freaking wizards, dude!
I'm
Sit
gonna
down,
not do
look
that
up,
because I'm not a wizard.
You know,
a
same.
little bit.
I'm gonna pray to my
Remember how
god.
to cast this little spell.
Tier's not helping you.
At
You
least
know
I
what,
got my
Seer?
channel divinity back. That's handy.
Oh yeah, is that a short rest thing?
yeah.
I was gonna go to
Sick.
Steri.
I didn't even use mine.
Yes.
Oh, dude.
Thank you for reminding me that
You're-
exists.
You're welcome. Mine's amazing.
And
So,
Sari,
Yeah.
I have
mine's
this
so good.
potion of healing for you or anyone who needs it in the future. Just hold on to it in case
Head to the broom.
no one else is able to get to you.
Thank you, Masno. I am eternally grateful. All of you guys did so much for all of us, and you will always be friends of all of us here. We will never forget what you did for us, and the pain we will carry for the rest of our lives of what these people have done to us, both the People's Alliance and these kobolds. This is devastating in ways you probably understand. But hopefully we will be safe. We can make our journey to the north. Farther north. I don't know how much more north I can take at this point.
Yes, well, up there is where I grew up, so you get to see my old stomping ground. Which
I think I'd look forward to that.
Pretty nice, I think.
I bet it's very nice.
Rude.
Thank you, Masnal.
You're very welcome.
Alright. Anybody else? Doing anything else? Talking to Brian before you go out? This is your chance before things go to the next level.
Do you have a map, Brian? Do you have a description of where we need to strike so that we're all on the same page?
Yes, I will be able to show you that in just a moment. I can sketch it out for you here.
And she starts sketching out to you guys, and she shows you this long map with the castle on one side and their camps on the other side. And
We will be able to come out through these ruins. They may have destroyed all these tunnels, but I am certain we can use another area to get through into the ruins. Out from there, we'll have to try and be quiet enough. I don't think it'll be too hard to go undetected in a massive war area. But as we get closer and closer to their trenches, that is where we're going to have to make sure to be on guard. They have many magic users and magical weaponry waiting for us there. If those animals get out, it will mean chaos for them as we want.
I'm gonna go up to her and say, "Hey, you don't happen to have any extra weapons on you, but Jim, he's very shy and he needs a
I can see.
I hand Ralia a short sword.
Oh, cool.
I have a mace.
Do you guys both hand him those weapons?
Yep.
So you're dumping your weapons and lending your loads as the abomination now has a short sword and a mace. And its jaw goes like and comes back up.
Oh, that's funny.
Is a mace a finesse weapon?
Is a mace a what?
Finesse.
I don't think so.
Because he can't use both at the same time.
It does not sound like a finesse weapon.
It's like a single attack, but you can't use two weapon
Yeah,
fight.
yeah.
with
That's. I mean, you just give him a short range option, or you give him a short sword.
He goes to put the mace somewhere on his belt and it just drops, and he just picks it back up and tries to put it back on and just drops, and he just keeps holding it.
wedge it between the ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah, wedges it between his bones
Yeah.
somewhere.
He puts one here right through there, and then the short sword through his ribs.
Perfect.
He's tall though, because he's got like this crouch to him because he has like 3 extra spines, so
You
he's
are making
not as
him awesome.
tall as Brian, but he's just crouched over. So okay.
I don't know if I can give you any answers at this point. I know you asked, but it sounds like we have more pressing matters to deal with first.
Yes, we should definitely, if we survive this, which I have a good feeling about it, with my new friend sent from the spirit of the forest, that we will be able to maybe come out on top and discuss some things further, especially that stone and how you are able to put everybody to sleep with the snap of your fingers. That is truly magic I have not seen.
I would love to learn more about that as well.
All right.
So would I.
All right, everybody, go take your break. This is your break. Here we go.
1d10 plus 1.
The intense music.
Where you at?
Which one are we supposed to be playing?
Heroic Demise is the same one. This one's just a little.
2.
This will fit a little better.
Heal.
All right, let me just try and get this looking here.
I am too.
Here's this right now. We'll get the positioning better in a moment. I just killed all of our characters. Fantastic. That's expensive.
I didn't want to live anyway.
Thursday. Because I'm having this hard time.
Oh my god. Okay, so as you all start making your way toward the entrance, this is your last opportunity before going outside. You say your goodbyes to Tamazing, who is going to the north to guide the nobles. This is where we part ways, brother.
Tim, no.
Tim, no, as he hugs you. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna miss you. You are incredible with your archery. You have mad skills and you're super strong. Hoorah! You, magic spells and all kinds of incredible sights and sounds come out of you. You're super cool. You, so tiny, but so amazingly powerful with the way you're able to shift the world. Throws you up into the air.
Rude to Tim.
It's fine. She's fine.
Tim is
She's
just
listening
really
to
exciting.
it. He is.
Yeah.
You're so weird in such a powerfully cool way, harnessing darkness to fight things. You're almost as big as me. As he grabs you, you're gonna do fine, big guy. You kick their asses, and you're creepy as hell. High five. Do you high five? It's amazing.
Who is that to?
Ralia.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
As he does a high five, he
Wait
just
for
touches
me.
Jim. You're terrific. You're all super strong, and I hope to meet paths with you again someday.
Bye, Tim.
Take care of the kids.
All right. The Sworn and Timazing and the children start being ushered out into another exit into the deep tunnels of the north that they have to traverse.
You have any advice for him, Osmo?
He has no idea about that place.
Now we're on a babysitting duty.
All right. So we head up.
Focus on blowing this shit up.
All right.
Let's do this thing.
Here we go.
It's like that Goku. Yep, you know.
Into the Battle of the North.
You knew exactly where I was going. Thank you. Oh, shit!
Well. All right.
my
There's a
lord.
castle over there, guys.
I
Guys.
wish we could show you what we just
Well,
saw.
we're gonna show them.
I know, but there's
Ah!
so many things.
There are pikes.
I'm so impressed with the moss.
What?
Wow.
The
No fog machine. 3 out of 10.
That looks awesome from here.
I'm glad you restrained yourself, you maniac.
I really had to.
How'd you make the water?
So this is only half of it.
Special water stuff.
He's literally
No, that guy
getting
has
the
a
other
horse.
half right now.
He has a horse. I'm scared.
There's mounted.
There's animals in there.
Guys, I think enchantment magic's
Can you
a...
move your stuff up a little more? So push this guy.
Oh my god.
I think he means push that thing that way.
Thank you. Let's see if I can get it together.
Oh my god. There's elephants!
There are.
Holy
What?
I didn't buy the full size one, so use your
Wow.
imagination at the war elephants, like from
Oh
Lord
my
of the
lord.
Rings.
Gee
Big this
Wow.
dude is.
Oh my.
Holy crap.
There's a guy on here that's literally like the size of my palm.
That
Or
is
like my
so
palm.
God
Like,
shame.
I
That
see
is
our
crazy.
onions. Well.
Oh man.
Man, I forgot to prepare my meteor spells.
METEOR? Or like
Yes.
Like
MEA?
beef.
Like
MEAT.
beefy spell.
IER?
Yeah.
My meaty ones, the juicy ones.
I mean, it could go either
I
way.
didn't forget to prepare them.
In this game, you never know.
This has been an adventure. Right.
Yes, it has.
So,
How are you spec?
this
I'm trying to figure out what I need to do here.
Like, my coworker's gonna love this tomorrow.
Yeah.
This guy's falling over.
Every time I stop by his desk, it's always like a 15-minute conversation about D&D. It's great.
That's awesome.
Nice.
All my
Alright.
coworkers are
So I'll
winning.
just
Oh
try and give
my
you an overview
gosh.
of it all. This is when I worked many
An
months.
actual fucking castle.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's the castle being sieged, the skirmishes out front, and those are the camps with the animals. You have to think that each of the characters are basically units, and each unit has multitudes of soldiers. So I'm not actually going to buy 10,000 pieces. You're going to use your imagination for 10,000.
Oh my
What's going on?
god. Just oh jeez.
So there's really 10,000 versus 2,000 right now going on.
Literally unplayable. We have to imagine something.
I need realistic numbers of soldiers, Reed.
It's alright. It's alright.
How do I know who I'm attacking?
It's not the same. We're gonna reuse miniatures, my guy.
No, you're good.
Is that all our creatures that we're gonna set free?
Yep, they're all in the back.
Oh, I cannot wait to set them free. It's gonna be great.
Alright, so
Chaos.
we are
Please
inside
pass without a trace.
the War of the North. The final stand of the North. Here we go.
I do want to send
Let's
them a
go.
picture.
All right.
I know, but I want to send them.
You
a
guys,
picture
as you start getting in there, you start to feel inspired. You feel this momentum coming through you as Brian is leading the way on this expedition. Before you guys all go out, she goes,
Do any of you have any magic to make us a little more stealthy?
Yes, I cast pass without a trace.
beautiful.
I
All right.
cast it because someone else did it. Thank God. I got spell slots, dude.
Yeah, see? That's
Beautiful.
fine.
Yeah, shit.
As
Yeah,
you
you're-
guys come out from the ruins, you can hear people above you talking about, "Ugh, you think this will be over anytime soon? This siege could last at least another half day. They're fighting to the last soldier, a bunch of absolute animals out here. Almost admirable." So outside, you can see right now, like, there's pockets of the Northern Army, and their drows are always in armor covering them, so they're not being directly exposed to the sun for any of the drow soldiers out there, and they are outnumbered constantly. You just see them surrounded by tons of Cobalt Wolf soldiers. The giant war elephants you see have the massive logo of the ivory tusks on them out there, and you can see up through the castle where you guys once were. It's taken you quite some time. It's been a few hours now coming through these tunnels onto the battlefield outside the castle to get from where you once saw the main throne room. You can actually have that clear line of sight from where you were earlier as the stone giants have made their way into the castle and they're clubbing people like crazy. So, Fandolin crew, what is your marching order and where are you going?
I imagine Brian is probably leading.
She sure is.
So I'm gonna be either second or third, depending on how adamant Mosnell wants to be close to Brian.
I'd like to be right behind Brian.
Okay.
I can
So
take
I'll
the
be
lead.
I'll be third.
Okay.
I'll be in the middle.
All right.
I'll be before Ulazal.
Okay.
So Raleigh is second from the back.
So everybody roll stealth checks as
Works
he
for
goes.
me. Before we do that,
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself and my skeleton friend.
Yeah, I was gonna
Jim.
say.
Okay. That's not a
Good thing we,
yeah, because
uh,
you're raising dead. It's not concentration, so he
Good
doesn't.
thing
Right.
we did pass without a trace.
Just add stuff
That
to-
wasn't good.
28.
22.
Are we gonna be keeping a slower pace, or like a quiet, slow pace?
It's up
So
for us to
Yeah.
decide.
My legs are so short.
Same.
I think we should be slower and sneakier
Yeah.
rather than try and rush over
I'm
there.
tired of this.
The clear
Take it
ones
nice
are
and
good.
easy.
Because
Are
that
they
means I
actually
get
that
advantage.
Do you just think they are? Yeah.
All right.
I got a 17, by the way.
With pass without a trace, my guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Bad roll.
Okay.
How do you even do
You
that?
see, by the way, like, think Battle of the Bastards, mounds and mounds have been formed of bodies laid out where they're just fighting on top of each other and coming down with all sorts of medieval weaponry, and these trebuchets with fire have stopped being used, and they're just kind of sort of sitting back now as the infantry is moving in. There's cavalry walking around, cobalt wolves with long spears coming down and hitting some of the Northern Army men. All that is happening in front of you in this massive display of warfare. What else we got for the rest of the teams? Brian got a 33.
41.
21 from the rogue. Holy
No, 41.
There we go. 41.
There it
from the
is.
Vanishes from the
That's
plane.
the-
You are now in the true end game. You just vanished to the end game with a roll that high. You unlock the ending. See you in a few couple months. Actually, probably more than that. Ralia, you're invisible,
That's
but you
never
still get a
seen.
stealth check.
Yeah,
So
18
that just means
and
advantage.
21.
18 and 21.
You remember?
Okay. I think that's everybody. What'd you get?
A 14.
Oh no.
Wait,
I know.
Wait, no.
You got a 4 plus
is
10?
your stealth a 0?
My stealth is a 0.
Yuck.
Yep, I got a 4,
How embarrassing.
and I'm not proud.
As everybody starts moving through the ruins and they're getting toward the edge, Brian leading. In the middle, Mosnell stops short as he thinks he sees one of the soldiers like, "Hey, I think I see a group of people moving inside there. He's maybe only a few survivors. We should go check that out." As they start turning away and start walking towards the ruins, Belfina almost falls out as Ralia behind, invisible, just grabs her. It's like, "Come back in here." What are you doing as you see a group of individuals approaching?
How many?
You see 3 knights walking towards you right now as bugbears are completely engaged. Cobalt
How
knives.
far did we get from the entrance of the tunnel?
You came from outside the tunnel, and now you're walking toward the campsites. So you're all towards the end of the campsite. So you're all about where Erie actually is right now. Like you've all. I'm just not gonna move them right now, but
Okay.
you're all moving down that way.
Just find something to hide behind.
How far?
They're about 15 feet in closing with every passing moment.
I am going to flip out the spider staff,
Okay.
and I'm going to cast a web over them.
Okay.
So a 20-foot cube that, since it's being light on the ground, it's a depth of 5 feet
Okay.
over top of them.
As you cast that and it starts forming over them, they're like, "Oh, more magical traps!" As the soldiers start having all the web formed. Do they have to make any saves or anything?
So when they start in it, they all have to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. So that slows them down, but you have now gathered a lot of attention in that area as people are looking and seeing these spider webs grabbed.
And then it's just like, move.
All right.
Let's go.
Nice. So you guys move past that, and you see moments later a dispel just dispels that. It's magic, right? So dispel magic will
Yes,
make that go
yes.
away.
Yep.
Okay, that is almost immediately the reaction as it starts forming around.
Yeah, it's a 2nd level spell, so it'll be dispelled.
And you hear called out, "There's magic users still afoot! I thought we got them all." And you guys move your way toward the end. So Brian is going to be the first to make an athletics check to get over.
Oh, she's so athletic.
Oh boy.
I agree. Oh, that's decent. Let's see.
Oh boy.
What's your athletics?
100. Plus 100.
20. So
What are we trying to cross?
There's a ditch.
So now you guys are getting to the point where there's pikes that would go all the way across. Brian here is jumping over, so let's see. You're jumping over here and getting to the other side toward the back end where all the animals are kept back here. She's the first to go over, and I believe it was Ari Mosnell. Go ahead and make
It was
your
Mosnell
rolls.
second, then Aerie.
Yep. You were in the back.
Cool. I'm dead.
Nice.
Athletics.
20. Yep.
Me too.
15.
All right.
Athletics. Or could you use acrobatics?
Nope. It's athletics.
How far is the jump?
We haven't even got to the jump. We're just getting outside the ruins. The ruins is the trench is about 15 feet across.
Okay.
Even though this isn't to scale here for the trench, but they would make it 15 feet across, so it's not easy to traverse. What do you guys got?
10.
10.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. All right. Everybody's moving in, moving out. What
I got a
about
15.
15? Jim Ralia?
Well, I got a 12. Jim is a 12 as well, actually.
Okay.
It would have been really funny if he was like a 1.
He just got like stuck in the like,
His bones just fall apart.
Well,
remove
it's nice
one of
knowing
the
you,
So
Jim.
bone sound effects I wish I had right now.
You should have prepared. How did you
I did not know.
How did you not know?
I did not anticipate the bone monstrosity.
You put bones in the area.
Yeah, I thought, just bring it back to life.
You
Not build
thought
a
the
monster.
kids would be used as.
Who knows? Anyway,
Aerie got a 10.
a 10 on athletics.
Yeah, it's a strength
my
bonus.
guys.
Athletics is strength based.
Gotcha,
It's like
gotcha.
the one strength based.
As all of you are climbing out, some are struggling more than others as people are investigating the area and they're gonna take some looks around as they're saying, "Hey, be on the lookout! We got some stragglers trying to flank us." Hate my dice.
Why are you so good at rolling poorly?
Well, as some of you fall with the lower rolls, I believe Belfina's like falling on her face, and Mazna's like, oh god! Ralia, even though invisible, is still making a lot of noise and knocking stones down and stuff like, which you're seriously, as you're like looking at Jim, it's like, I'm telling you to go the other way, and Jim's like, oh fucking bones, what do you want from me? If you gave me more legs, I'd probably be a little more sturdy, but I have such a large spine. Like, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this.
She takes a bone out of the bag and sticks it on his leg.
That stabilizes him, makes him a little better. Fantastic. Ulazal absolutely sees. No, they're invisible. Oh, darn. It's okay. He senses the bone movement. He's like, oh, it's something, a disturbance in the bony force. Okay. You guys don't see anything.
Technically, it'd just be a single bone floating there, because it wasn't part of the invisibility spell.
Oh.
Well, it was on her person.
Well, it's all of his stuff, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's him and the spare bone.
Yeah. It's fine. It's funny, but it's fine. So, as that's all happening, just as they're about to turn to see you, one of the cavalrymen turns the corner to go command them. What are you all doing? There! That unit needs help! And there's a bunch more of the northern troops engaging and being fought with. So, you lucked out.
Yeah, we did.
That was close.
Keep yourself together.
Alright, let's try and make another jump over here.
What is... We'll get to it, I'm sure.
Sure.
There's a dude with wings up there.
Wings?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Gargoyle-looking
I know.
guy.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I forget what I do have to fucking do. As we keep going, can you guys make this jump, or should I push you over?
Does it look like I can make it?
15 feet.
I'll take
You
a
should push me.
Okay.
I'll take a push.
So she goes down and she puts her hands up. So as you guys can actually walk onto her hands, and she'll push you over the trench right now.
Oh, easy.
Somebody just keep an eye out. As you see, there's people all in the trenches right now with arrows, just archery above you on those stations. You can see every now and then you see loose and just going and hitting a couple of the men and hitting some of the opposing men. I can't do this all day. We have men to spare.
Just as a note, the rules for jumping, you can jump a number of feet up to your strength score if you take a 10-foot running jump.
Okay. You don't have 10 feet to go back at all.
My strength score or the modifier?
Score.
It would be your score.
Dope.
Hey, it's so high.
But there's no running area.
Oh.
There's no...
No, there's like 2 feet. So she's just trying to push you over with her long
Yeah, so we'll just use her.
She can easily, like, you grab her and she'll, like, give you a toss sideways. So
Before the next person goes, I'm going to hand them one end of my rope and say, hold on to that.
Okay, so Belfina's the first one. She's the first one that spoke up, holds the rope. Brian easily tosses you. She's strong as hell. So you go, give me a acrobatics check so you don't tumble and to make a lot of noise. Nice.
12.
Oh, I thought it was 17. 12. As you go over, you're like... Look around right now, but you landed on grass, which is really nice. In that grassy area over there, you can see one of the fire pits they have going right now. Thankfully, you're small, and they're sort of more engaged with what's in front of them than what's on the side right there. You haven't startled the guards just yet, but Brian sees a couple guards coming down the trench, and she goes, "A little help? Anyone good with ranged weapons?" And she motions towards at least 3 guards walking down toward the trench.
Before Bologna shoots or anything, I'm gonna summon Morta.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll just appear out of nowhere, and I'm just gonna have her fly like right past the guards and just like right behind them, so that they possibly will turn around.
Give me a performance check for her.
For Morta.
Yep, for Morta.
Good burn.
And we now have a rope line across the ditch.
Perfect. So everybody start moving.
How many guards are there?
In the trench right now, there's 3 close to you in this long trench that goes for about a mile.
What do you want for it?
So that is 15.
Dex, just normal dex. 15 for it.
15.
Yep. Easily, as it scratches across her face, it's more of these goddamn ravens down here. You think they'd be sending some sort of symbol as they're shooting arrows and trying to cut it with their short swords. It's as Morta is just doing circles around them right now.
Aria's gonna try and cross the dip.
All right, give me a dex check. What'd you got, Ulazal?
13.
13. You're good with all the aid and everything going on right now. The DC has been lowered. You guys are making it across. What'd you get?
8.
8 for an acrobatics check?
Oh, acrobatics.
Oh,
No,
acrobatics.
19.
19. Okay.
Ow!
Yeah. She's just helping you guys along. You have the rope. She's pushing you as well, so you guys have a nice steady landing as Belfina's holding the rope on the other side. Like, come on! Every time you guys grab it, she's like, as Ulazal comes on, I'm gonna help with this. Now they're both holding it.
I'll go. I got a
Thanks,
12.
man.
Okay. You got a 12. You go across. Very good. Give me stealth check as you get across, Mosnell, because you're huge. So now we're going to see if they see you. Go
Do I
out.
still get the plus 10?
Yep.
Still get a plus 10?
Yeah. The smoke in the battlefield is drifting towards your side right now. It seems to be in your aid. Somehow the spirits may be guiding you.
That's so weird. Wow.
With the plus 10, that's a 12.
Oh my god.
Oh, wait. No, wait. Hang on. I didn't add stealth. That's 15. I get a plus 3.
One of the guards turns over as Mazno's like, we're going on this hill, and there's now like a pile of people forming, and one of the guards looks over, and he's just like, is there? He goes down, and then he hears the Morta with the guys, God damn it, you think the Raven Queen herself was here, God! Ah! And you see him.
And then
just-
once everyone's across, I want to help Brian out of the.
Sure, I think it's just up to Jim and
Oh, I haven't gone.
Ralia and Alona. There we go. What are you guys doing?
Wait.
You're waiting? Okay. So what about you two?
I have an air knocked. I'm watching these guards.
Okay.
Just waiting.
Okay.
Okay. What is it athletics? Is it
Acrobatics.
acrobatics? Okay.
Yep.
Sorry,
I don't
longbow.
do that either.
Right now.
Okay.
14.
14, you're good. You get across without Jimbo.
That is a 13.
No,
13 for the abomination. For the first time, Brian's like, this is weird. As an invisible, she can feel the skeleton and like her hands curl around for a second. She's like, as it goes across.
This is weird.
You guys get all over there. You're invisible, so no stealth checks needed. And Brian's like, all right, Alona, you're up.
Natural 20.
Nice. Easy. Easily go across, and as you go across, she grabs the back of your hand, and you pull her up, and you all go in one fluid motion up onto the hill.
As Mono was getting ready to lift her out,
Whatever, my guy. She's so
Once
cool.
we're all across,
I'll just collect my rope and store it in my.
Excellent. Okay. There are guards everywhere. This is terrifying. I'm as terrified as you are. If we are caught, we're all dead. We're almost there.
Let's not get caught.
All right, so I need you all to make
killed Monster.
another stealth check as you all are going around the back as Brian's trying to lead you back there.
Once we're all across the ditch, I'll tell Morta to fly into a bush and then snap her out of existence.
Finally.
Okay,
17.
17.
Again.
25.
Another natural
Okay.
20? What the fuck?
Nice.
How did I do that?
Nice.
Natural 20 for a 43.
43. All right, I might have to take this in for a
Wow.
team thing.
Mine's only a 38, sorry.
Brandon rolled.
Wow, do better.
A mere 38, I
Oh,
know.
she didn't roll. That was the
I
other
think
guy.
mine's only a 30.
Oh no.
I rolled a 29 and a 25,
Holy.
but on my first rolls for both of my characters, I rolled a natural 1.
That's lucky. Oof. Good invisibility.
Oof.
Yeah.
That
Oof.
invisibility saved you.
So the lowest then is just Mosnell.
Yeah, 17.
Yeah, 17.
All right. As everybody is moving throughout the back there, Brian's upwards of 30. That's it. Everything is going fine. You're getting across. There's guard patrols going by you. You can hear all sorts of shipment and items being moved around, people commanding orders. And just as you are turning the corner, Brian's able to slip past a guard who then takes a turn with his drink as he's just like, God, glad we're not on the front lines, right? And sees Maz now. What are you doing?
How far is he?
He is 4 inches from your face.
Oh, God.
4 inches. And it's
No,
right
how
now.
many guards?
There's one guy that has turned around, and the rest have not noticed you inside there. You can't see it yet. Aries turning the corner. He can see this because of the marching order right now. You're all right now
How far away
going
was he?
behind that back barracks.
Missed it.
Yep. What are you doing?
What was the distance? I missed it.
4 inches.
He's right in front
4
of you.
inches?
Yes.
I'm
You
gonna
guys-
grab him and try to put my hand over his mouth.
Okay.
Make him quiet.
Strength check. Here we go.
Come on, Flexi boy.
Show us your power.
Oh no.
I'm rolling horribly.
You have Timora's blessing, probably.
Yeah.
Do I?
Yeah.
It's Timora's blessing.
He's metagaming.
That's when to use
Let
it.
it be. We fought hard for a god's blessing.
He's metagaming.
Don't forget them, guys.
That is much better.
I think we're the only
strength?
three that have them still.
Okay.
Yep.
That's an 18. Strength or athletics?
Strength.
Oh, yeah, 18.
He starts. You see your grip. It starts to open and open and open, and you're losing it. And he's pushing out. He is strong as hell. Then you bring him right back in. You have him grappled right now.
Yes.
I'm gonna pull out my dagger of venom and just stab him.
All right, go for it. You have advantage and auto critting right now. Just.
Does he also have sneak attack?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
would.
he has
Yeah.
advantage, yeah.
The guy just dies.
So that'll be a 28 to hit.
That hits.
Oh
guy
boy.
just dies.
As this Cobalt Wolf is watching, and Horaz, somebody has penetrated their camp deep into the back of it. Out of nowhere, his friends are just behind him, all drinking right now. Getting the room, you see about 15 of them just chilling out in there.
In the room?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yes, boy.
Aren't you glad we're not on the front line?
As he turns, and right now, Mazo's big guy grabbing him in the ascent, and the rogue is like, I'm gonna fucking slit your throat. And he's going up with a dagger of venom and cutting this individual's throat.
I did not use poison.
Okay.
So this is going to be 50 points of damage.
Just
Yeah, he stopped existing.
no.
As he's turned in the state of shock and you're hitting him there, like Ari cuts his throat, but then just the anger and rage of the Cobalt Wolves, and this being a soldier of the Cobalt Wolves, he just sort of starts going overboard. And Mazno's like,
All right, take it easy. All right, he's gone.
and he is a awful mess as they're like putting the body down and everything and like getting out of sight. Everybody else is passing by as this exchange is happening, getting behind right now. You can see all these different layers and levels of all these different it's all made out of wood because it's all temporary building and all these houses have been made and put out everywhere. So that's all overlooking everything. There's really nothing looking back except about 5 guards are just patrolling around the animal pits now. You guys are on the opposite side, but there is no cover here. You guys are
like here.
going to be exposed soon. Yep, you can move everybody there if you wouldn't mind. You've gotten around. You just narrowly avoided being detected. Thankfully, you won that straight check, or that would have been a mess.
Yeah. Thank you, Timora.
You're welcome.
Yeah. You can see as you get past here, one of the walls on the siege tower comes down.
Oh, this guy's dabbing.
And these guys go streaking off to their deaths. As you can see, the castle being invaded by more of the Cobalt Wolves in the distance, and
So-
some of the giants crushing people as the war is still going on far, far away from you.
Is there? You say it's completely open. Is there like boxes or things to kind of sneak around just as like a single person?
No, what they did for the animal pits is they basically dug a giant hole in the ground and put them all in there so they could watch them at all times. So you have tons of these animals. You have wolves, you have mountain lions, you have some strange elementals in there, and they're all just pacing. They're all stuck on top of each other. All kinds of creatures. Bears are inside there as well, some oversized ones. Some dire wolves are inside there as well. Varying sizes. They are massive and all stuck about 40 feet below. the ground right now. This
How does
massive
it look
trench.
like they either got them in there or could get them out? Was
What's-
it just like a hole?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
or is there,
basically
like,
once
a
again
ladder?
like get in there. They just shoved all the animals into
So they
this
just like
massive hole.
push them into the trench.
Yes, yes, it's
How do-
huge.
How do we want to go about this? Do we
could
do we
try
want to
out
have
of-
two groups? One distract and one go for the animals?
Why don't we
Well,
just take
I
them
would-
all out at the same time?
If we pushed them all in, they probably wouldn't fare too well.
That's a good point.
That's a very good point.
Do we have any way of shaping the earth?
I can do that.
Ooh,
Can you get them
that
out of
would
there?
be good. We can make a ramp.
That
Yeah,
would
just
work.
make
A ramp
make
would work.
as wide of a ramp as you can to let them reach the ground, so as many can be swarming out as possible.
Winona, you're good with nature stuff, right?
All I need
Belfina.
No,
You meant
Belfina.
I'm sorry, what?
Yep, he said the wrong name.
Okay.
Sorry. Belfina, you're good with nature stuff, right?
I am.
Could you
What
make
do
a
you need?
ramp
Can you
for
make a
the
ramp out
animals
of,
to get out?
to get the animals out?
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, that was easy.
All right. All right, do you guys attempt to do that?
How are the guards standing?
They are walking around. You guys are having this brief moment. They are patrolling it, and they're going to see you in about less than 3 seconds.
Okay, so
Alright.
as that happens, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cast Stone Shape,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna make the ground a sharp angle so that the guards, as many as I can get, fall into the pit, and also create kind of a ramp to let the animals out. I don't know.
If it's really steep, the animals aren't going to be
I
able to
think-
get out on that.
yeah,
Yeah. But you could knock them into the pit.
yeah, that's my priority.
Okay.
I do that.
All right. What's the deal with it? Explain the spell to me, please.
So
Just so I
Stone
can describe
Shape.
it properly.
Touch a stone, medium size or smaller section of stone. So 5 feet, so I would have to get right up on him and then like just touch the ground and then the
Oh,
ground-
you got to run then. That's completely opposite you. They're going to notice
Yeah,
you far
that's
before that
fine.
happens.
I just need to get within range and then do it.
You're right now, because the pit's so large and the circumference of it, you're going to be running probably like 200 meters.
Oh, I don't need to go all the way around. I just want to get one side so that we get the drop on guards to get a surprise round.
Okay.
How far away are they?
Or, you know, I could wild shape.
About 200 meters.
I thought about wild shaping into
How-
like
how many
a
feet
poisonous
is that?
snake.
How many feet is that? How many feet that-
Times 3, 600 feet.
What would you do then?
Run up and bite the guards, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they won't be noticing you guys because they'll be like, "Oh frick, there's this poisonous snake here that just bit my ankle."
Okay. You want to try that?
Yeah, I'd rather do that because I don't have the spell that I thought I had.
Hey, that's the exact end of the range of a longbow.
Okay.
Funny, well, with a sharpshooter. Funny
Okay.
you mentioned that.
Okay. Here we are.
It's at, it's at disadvantage.
All right, so plot twist.
Yep.
Doing the other thing.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, this is what we're
No
going
ramp.
for.
Try and get the drop on him.
Okay.
All right. So let me just look at my notes here, like I was just doing, because I don't remember how many hit points I have.
Sure. So you're going to wild shape
Oh.
into a snake, and they're going to, like, chuck you over towards them?
Never mind.
Yeah, I'm
Attacking
gonna
at long
wild shape into
Mosnell, please.
a giant poisonous snake.
Oh,
Yeah.
giant.
And
Okay.
so let me see
range. Attacking at long range
how
doesn't
that
impose
changes things
disadvantage.
for me. Sorry.
Yeah.
I love this feat.
Good feet.
I actually had it up and then Zach distracted me.
Oh, it's always Zach's fault.
I know. It's terrible. I can't get anything done around
All right,
here.
cool. Well, I'm gonna bonus action cast
Yep.
I could also be maybe a
Hex.
flying
magic
snake.
weapon on my longbow
Okay.
Oh,
at
no,
4th
no.
level,
Okay.
Spicy.
and knock 2 arrows real quick.
Okay.
Waiting to see what's going on.
All right.
How far away are they?
600
feet.
The exact
600.
end
That's so
of
far.
my range.
Yeah.
But I got sharpshooter, so it don't matter.
Yeah. They're on the opposite side, and they're about to see clearly you across, like, doing something that they're not up for.
Yep.
All right, guys. I
Figured.
am a giant poisonous snake, slithering over and biting as many guards as I can.
How big is this snake? Are we talking like basilisk? Like, what am I looking at here?
Let me see if
It
it,
would
says
What's a giant snake?
Probably.
What's the size category?
it's only 1/4.
1/4.
That's the challenge rating.
Oh.
It's the size category.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know then.
You're okay. Everything's fine.
Medium.
Medium?
Medium.
Giant
That's still
poisonous
like a
snake is
human-sized
medium.
snake. That's
That's-
massive.
Yeah, that's
see,
gonna be
that's
like
why
a-
they're gonna freaking
A 6-foot snake.
Oh,
freak out.
jeez. So that is just like beelining there. Are you firing,
A
Belfie?
giant
Bellona?
like python.
The B&B girls?
Yeah, as far away, like the farthest one's away.
Yep. Roll to hit. So go ahead and roll your attack. You're going on in there. Let's see if you guys have a surprise on them. So
First one is I'm gonna use the whatchamacallit feat to take a. For both of these, I'm using my sharpshooter feat to take a penalty to
Okay.
my hit.
Sure.
Yeah.
But also get 10 damage if I hit.
Okay, go ahead.
So I believe I rolled a 23 on the first one.
That hits. Get him.
And on
So
the
I'm
second
rolling to
one,
bite 'em,
I
right?
rolled
Yep.
a.
Okay. How many times
The
do
second
I have
one, I
to roll?
rolled an 18.
How many people am I biting?
Just hits. You fuck. What?
So
do you want from
that
me?
is an unnatural 20.
Oof.
Oh, actually, it's
Um,
even higher than
to
that. I
hit.
forgot about magical.
D4 plus 4 piercing damage.
I know.
Okay.
Con save.
Okay.
Nice. And then there's poison too.
They're not con saving that.
Okay, so they take at least 8 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
3d6 poison damage. You are correct.
3D what?
6.
Oh boy. Oh.
All right, so that is 16 plus 16. No, 16 plus 8. So 24 points of damage.
24.
The first one, as you slither up and see, you see, I thought they were on our side. As he starts to go stabbing the snake, arrows hits
Well,
one.
The first one
the
is
other-
a 17.
17 damage.
Yeah, and the second one is a 22.
Okay, so the 17 damage hits him. Oh, how the hell did that pierce my mail? As he's looking around, and as he looks over to these other ones, he falls into the pit. But instead of going into the pit, you can see this magical barrier above it, and you see these runes shoot flames up into the sky as everyone is now yelling, "Somebody's making them for the pits!" And
Oh,
you
shit.
put everybody on high alert. What are you doing?
I'm gonna cast.
People are rushing, and you can see.
cast Dispel Magic
Okay.
at. Oh Jesus, that giant.
far away is the
ring wall
pit?
thing?
Yeah. There's a giant wall right now above you, keeping the top of the animals in. You can see all these runes are lighting up.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna cast that at 5th level.
Yeah.
5th level.
I'm stone
I'm
shaping
gonna
a
bite someone else.
Well, there's another guy right there that's been hit by the arrow, so go ahead and roll an attack.
I did.
Oh, what'd you get?
He is an 18 to hit.
Just hits.
Ha!
again.
What is this?
Stone shaping a.
Oh, wait. You get +2
Cool.
on that hit, so you're 20.
Okay.
And what did you roll on your dice originally? What was your pure dice roll?
For the roll to hit,
Yeah, what was that?
the first time and the second time.
The first time, or the second time against this guy?
Okay, so that I got a 12 was
Okay,
the pure
okay.
dice roll.
Then don't worry about it.
Okay.
But you got +2 to this one as you have 2 successful hits in a row. You get +2 on this attack.
Cool.
So go ahead.
Okay. So that is 6 points of damage, and then it has to make
Make a
a
con save?
Yes, please.
12.
That just makes it.
Haha! He's still dead though. So he doesn't die by awful poisoning, but he
Does it
just.
still take?
Yeah, he takes half on success.
Oh, half?
But he's
Yeah.
dead. So,
Okay.
I mean,
Is it worth rolling? Probably not. He's dead.
He's dead. You got him by there. All right. So you dispel that.
I
What does Brian?
Does
do?
it really just work?
You did it at a high enough level. What's the? If it's a higher level? Isn't
Yeah,
there a
If
roll?
it's the same or higher, it dispels.
if the
It's the same. It's a 5th level spell, so he got it.
Oh, neat.
Cool.
That was
Okay,
my only
yeah.
5th level spell
I
slot. So
stone
yeah.
shape a ramp for the animals.
All right. You can do that. Everything's fine with that.
If I need to, I'll put my hand on the side and slide down and
Yeah.
rip open the earth.
Yeah, as you start doing that,
Wow,
you
Uzo
start
badass.
seeing these people. No! Get them firebolts start raining down on you guys.
God.
You see all these mages looking at them, just like. shots are coming towards all of you.
I'm gonna loose an arrow at. Is anybody within 150 feet of me?
There's so many people within like 30 feet of you.
I am going to loose a nice longbow shot.
All right.
A nice one.
At one of the mages.
Okay. 18 against Mosnell for a firebolt. Is that gonna hit?
Yeah, that hits.
All right. That is going to be 7 damage of fire damage to you. Nobody sees Ralia or Jim. They're just chilling out invisible as all these shots are going everywhere. There's going to be a 16 against Belfina. Does that hit?
Yes, that does.
All right, against the snake, as the wizards are like, what's going on with the snakes? That'll be 11 points of fire damage from the firebolt.
Just enough to revert me back into a human. I know.
It was an illusion!
Snake Belfina was.
Oh, we should have known better!
Boys in blue are back at it.
20, yep. 20 to hit Bellona.
hits.
Alright, then that's going to
With
be
ease.
13 points of firebolt damage.
Oh, why do I always take the most damage?
I don't know. I'm almost maxed out on those.
Firebolt's so pretty strong.
Airy, you shoot. You get yours off as a firebolt's coming towards you. I'm pretty sure that was. Oh no, that's pretty high. That's actually for you. 22 to hit.
Oh dang, that hits.
All right. Wow, no, he outdid you that time. That's 11 plus 3 would be 14. 14 points of firebolt damage comes to you as all these mages are shooting lasers, firebolts at you.
And then I rolled a 27 to hit on just a mage.
Absolutely, that's gonna hit. So arrow comes off, looses. Right now, Brian is coming down and already forcing them. She's dodging their bullshit like it's no problem. I'm pretty sure.
I imagine
she's at
we
full, right?
actually.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's too late. I imagine we've lost surprise, so I would not have advantage, correct?
No.
Okay.
You do
So
not have
then that'll be
advantage.
just. Ooh, I still maxed out. So that'll be a 13 damage to one of the mages.
Okay. Oh, they're fragile. Wait.
Are they that fragile?
Oh no. Yeah, he's dead. Fuck. Yes. Fuck.
What?
There's a lot. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people here. So one of the mages and falls down as you start hearing some voices. They're going for the animals quickly. As you start hearing the safety measures trying to be put in, and
We are going for the animals quickly.
up top, all the archers start changing. They start pulling their arrows to shoot down. Brian is already ushering them out. And you see all these animals start rushing out one at a time.
I activate my shield.
Yeah, give me a dex saving throw.
A dex
How
saving
wide
throw?
is the ramp?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
because
How wide can you
animals-
make the ramp, my guy?
It's 5 feet wide. As far down as I would have slid.
Okay. That's pretty good. That's good.
17 on the dex save.
Okay. You're okay. Brian's fine.
Yeet.
You can see Brian is going with purpose as she's looking through this crowd right now as all these animals are pouring upwards and they are trampling. They are pushing down and knocking over that side where all those guys are.
This one?
No. Yeah, that one. That's where they're all coming up right now. And you see all the archers like, oh no! And they're crushing into that. Arrows are coming down on you, Maz, now. And just as a guy turns the corner, so they're all now flooding out of there as the animals are coming in. A guy's coming around the corner with an axe and he's coming up to hit you. This is all from the barroom area. A figure from the bottom jumps up and clamps onto the guy's neck. And he's going to do 12 points. And then a second one.
It's Kane.
It grabs onto its neck. And that's going to do 10 more points. That's just enough.
They're good.
As the grabs on, and you see, and like, his axe in his hands, tears out his throat, and this cobalt wolf is covered in crimson red as he starts to fall backwards. You recognize this as Big Tooth and Teeth. What?
Hey!
Or was it Eddie? I think it was Eddie. Was the other?
I think
It was Eddie.
It was
The
Eddie.
Teeth
Tooth
passed
and
away.
Eddie.
Yeah.
But Big Tooth and Eddie are there as they see you, and there's this nod of like, as the wolves start coming out and it starts pushing. You see Brian. I have to give her a
Brian,
reflex
like
check.
the pickle.
She mantles onto
Just
the
now?
biggest dire wolf and she starts riding the dire wolf out
She's so cool.
As she takes out her sword and she goes, Masnel, onto him! And she points to this giant fucking bear.
That's my style right there.
Give me an athletics check
Run over and get on it.
to jump onto the bear.
This is what I'm talking about.
So
Let's
while he
go.
does that, I'm gonna
Yep.
run over to Bologna.
Yep.
And I'm going to just, like, with no explanation, just grab her quiver of arrows.
Yep.
And I'm going to cast flame arrows.
Oh,
which
shit.
causes,
Nice.
yeah, so it automatically makes it happen. And it gives them an extra 1d6 of fire damage.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
They're already
Nice.
magic. That's
Yep.
insane.
Awesome. So all this is coming out.
God.
I need everybody just to make rounds of attacks right now as everything's going on. Brian calls out,
Sure.
the animals are friendly. They will trust you. You have my mark. You can ride on them if you care.
How many?
Just do the first one right now. I want everybody to do first attack.
Can I rage beforehand?
Yeah, absolutely. As you're rage jumping onto the bear.
20.
All right. Who has already hit an attack in a row? You have. Anybody else has hit an attack already?
I am going to hit my second attack.
Your
in a
second
row.
attack. Anybody who's already hit an attack, you have a +2, and tell me what your normal number is before your modifier.
14.
Okay.
I have a lot of stuff to add in
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. Before.
Right,
what-
so with the dice roll or
yeah,
just the
straight dice
the
roll
number?
before your modifiers.
I rolled an 18.
You crit.
Oh damn.
13.
Okay.
14.
Okay.
13 for natural.
Okay. So then now add all your modifiers that you want.
20.
If you've already hit stuff in a
that's
row.
22.
Hits.
21.
Hits.
Oh, 29.
Hits.
21.
Oh shit.
Hits.
I'm divine smiting these nerds.
All right. Raleigh, are you doing
Nice.
anything right now, or are you just
Yeah.
watching all this?
I assume there are at least 2 guys next to each other within 5 feet.
Oh,
Yes.
She'll
Is
touch
that
it.
accurate?
Yes.
I just get
I'm
divine
using
strike
chill
for
touch.
free. That's so
So
dumb.
that's 22
Damage on
and
my strikes.
23 or 24.
Okay. All those hit.
Barracks, dude.
All you guys go ahead and start rolling your damages.
16.
16
Eight.
damage.
8 psychic damage, too.
8 psychic damage.
Yeah.
Down he goes.
Can you make a dex saving throw?
I always can. That is an 18.
It saves.
Natural, so.
Let's see. So that is 3 points of piercing damage.
Hey, that's damage though. As that one individual gets hit. Okay.
Oh, is that ice knife?
Yes.
It blows up. It blows up, doesn't it?
17 to one guy and 13 to the other.
All right. Both drop. You're just hitting some of the weaker guys. As the
11.
11 damage. Not so much. On top, where you have mounted, does that give you anything?
It's not.
It doesn't say.
No.
anything
Oh.
about it, so-
So on
Does
top
it?
of the bear, you just grasp and hit one. You then see Ralia. She's completely invisible, but the cold touch, just for a second, you can see the periwinkle cold
the
as she's
target.
reaching out and grabs 2 of these soldiers, the one that you just hit, and they fall. They just and shatter. Is that how cold touch works again? No, it isn't, right? It's different.
Skeletal
It's
hands.
necrotic.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
necrotic.
like a
So they're burning up.
skeleton.
They start burning up, and they fall to the ground.
And each creature.
They like wither away.
You're using your longbow,
Yeah, that's it.
so you're taking shot and shot into the crowd. You had 1 or 2 shots that time.
I rolled 1, but I can roll another one.
1, so that goes into the head. You divine smite at somebody.
I smack him with my staff.
Ulazal just like whacka as he's coming up from underneath where all the animals
It's like
are
a
rushing
baseball
out.
bat swing, just BAM!
All right,
It does emotional damage.
do one more round of attacks as they are
By the
retaliating
way,
against you
I did
guys.
17 damage
What's that?
because I crit. I did 17 damage because I critted.
Okay,
Yeah,
oh that's
mine was 19 magic, 5 fire.
dead. Oh,
So 24.
dead. These guys have
Yeah.
got nothing. People are dropping back and
With
forth.
the ice knife, it's all the other creatures within 5 feet as well as the target.
Okay,
have to make a
take
dex save.
dex save.
Yeah.
I just did a general one, so
Okay.
they're all saving at this point.
Okay.
They basically meat shielded the guy. They're like, ah! Arrows are coming down on all of you, so
I'll shoot the arrows.
there is no. You can't do that.
What do you mean?
Can I cast a spell?
22, a nat 20, and a 9 to hit you guys. So that's going to be 3 attacks against you right now in this abbreviated version of combat that we're doing right
Shield.
now. Okay.
I'll take the 22.
Yeah, well, you're going to take the 20, and there's a crit, so that'll be a 27 to hit with the crit. From the
I
arrows.
will take. I'll take the crit, and I can uncanny dodge it.
I'll take the 9.
So for the crit, it's 16, 20 points of damage on the crit. So that's for everybody.
10.
These are arrows coming down.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh shit.
This is everybody's got to take that crit if you're not doing anything to try and
How
get rid
much
of
is
it.
it then?
20.
20 points of damage, and then there's another one for 22 that's going to hit. The other one's not going to hit your armor class as these arrows are being rained down on you.
So how much damage total?
The 22
second
doesn't
one?
hit me.
22 doesn't hit this guy. That'll be 5. That one's going to be 9 more points of piercing
So
damage.
29 damage.
Yep.
That is a lot.
29 damage total.
Oh, that hurts.
As all these
Wait, I
arrows
took
start
more
being
than
rained in on you,
really?
both arrows,
I took
firebolts, as
Wait.
bodies are dropping and
Thank you,
animals are
Richard.
pouring out, ripping things apart. Elementals are coming out of the ground. You see these briarwoods coming up and grabbing people. It is starting to get
29
spicy.
total?
Yeah. 20. So
Oh.
the crit was the 20, and the 9 was just a normal damage. Piercing
Just that
damage.
whole round was 29,
Yeah.
not the damage.
Oh,
From all the
so
arrows.
you took too much damage then.
It's only 29 from everything that
So-
just happened.
Yeah,
Go
so
back to
that
what you
just
were at and
happened.
then just
Oh.
subtract 29.
Yeah.
So you still only have 20, Hunter.
What's that?
Right.
What?
Hunter only had 20 damage.
Yes. Well, then, yeah, because he uncanny dodged half of it to 10
Right,
and then
and
9.
yeah.
So it's only, I think it's 19, it's even less.
It was like 20 something.
Okay. So with that, bodies are dropping left and right. Soldiers are being killed. All of you feel this momentum, and you start to understand you have this momentum of war. So I'm going to send this in the Discord. This is the mechanic.
The gimmick.
The mechanic.
So now you're all going to keep track of this, so I don't have to keep asking you.
Can't make
Hack.
Okay.
Why is your thing garbage?
I think you're all going to like this a lot.
Is it war?
It's so like when I told you last time, think about war from World at War, and every time you took a
Yep.
flag, you gained momentum. This is the game you're not playing.
Hoorah!
But we have a hard stop at 9:30. We've already gone past right now. So the arrows are raining down on all of you. You are getting the animals out. They're free. Brian is now pushing off to some of the other objectives, telling you, "Follow me. We have other things to accomplish."
Oh, I'm gonna be critting all the time.
Ralia,
Oh.
are you doing anything right now with the
don't
bodies?
How many are there next to me?
Right now, in this general area, there's probably about like 40 bodies.
And they seem pretty well armored, I assume.
Decently, after you guys have just busted them open pretty badly. Mages and normal soldiers and stuff like that.
Well, it takes me a minute to do it, so
Oh, full minute.
yeah. I'll wait until this skirmish is over.
Okay, well, as you're doing that, you start to see some bodies rising in front of you. As you start looking around, trying to pick out your next victims, your next fighters. Give me a perception check from the Fanlin crew.
Everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Perception.
Jim gets one too.
Yes, he does. Oh, I can't wait for Jim to be the only one to see this and be like, all right, keeping it to myself.
14.
26.
Passive is
Jim can't see
26, your passive is 17.
Yeah.
but natural 20.
Nat 20, 8, Nat 20,
13.
15,
13.
13. All right, you're not seeing this right now. So everybody above a 16, you start looking around and you look up to that podium where it was overlooking both the battlefield and the
Like here?
way back there, the animals.
Okay.
And you see a figure in a black robe putting his hands slowly up
This
higher and higher,
bitch.
and you can see cuts on his face
Oh,
all
we
the
gotta
way
kill him.
across,
Ah.
Is
and a
it
big beard on his
reminiscent of a
face
tic-tac-toe board?
Tic-tac-toe face.
as he's bringing up these guys from the ground right now, starting to be resurrected.
Shoot him.
Mazel, you don't see it right now because you didn't roll
No,
high
okay.
enough, but
I know.
Can I shoot him?
this is where we're ending tonight's game.
But I wanted to do
What did you want to
Can I
do?
something
So I-
when you
don't know
yeah.
if this was like my second attack or what, but
Sure.
I cast Produce Flame,
Okay,
and I got a 12
sure.
plus something.
Okay.
Wait, you got 12?
Yeah, that was the first roll, and then I never like actually mentioned that I did
You're
it.
good.
Mhm.
Anyway,
You're fine.
yeah, so I got a flame in my hand and I chuck it, and
Okay.
it can go 30 feet,
Okay.
and it does 3d8 damage.
Jeez.
So I rolled it already. It does 17 points of damage to someone.
Ooh, nice. All right, so you would have done that before you saw Mr. Necro.
Yeah.
And right next to him, you're definitely seeing, like, you're getting the attention, and as you blast and you kill a mage next to him, you said 17 points?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, he's annihilated. So he gets us on fire, and you unfazed, that's how you notice the necromancer slowly with his hands coming up, bringing up the dead.
When I see the necromancer doing that, I cast counterspell.
Yeah, and that's where we'll come back next week.
It's like, nah, that's me.
My vibes. This is gonna be
No,
great.
those are mine. You guys You guys just keep counterspelling each other when you're trying to raise them.
I counterspell your counterspell.
We run out of spells. Like,
Yep.
He may have a lot of followers with him willing to throw their lives on the line. There might be a lot of people with magical abilities used as meat shields for this piece of this bloke.
Wow, this sounds kind of like a hint from some sort of overlord.
Man. The elephants are now attacking the castle.
I'm quivering.
Would be a shame if somebody just.
So we'll come back there next week in the
whole battlefield.
final stand of the North as it continues, as you have successfully released the animals. Good stealth checks.
Be a shame if a cloud kill came out of somewhere on the whole
Be a
battlefield.
shame.
Sure would, wouldn't it?
Be a shame.
Shame.
We'll have to see.